Love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. The two can coexist, but one does not equal the other. Most people don't understand what dopamine does or what it is for.
We need others to experience self.
The most dangerous thing a successful woman can do is, I don't need a man. You tell a man that, good luck with that. Men want respect, number one, more than anything. Number two, men need and want acceptance, not of who they can become, but of who they are right now.
Instead of judging yourself and being self-critical, be self-curious.
The closest you can get to God here, physically, not spiritually, is through the deepest connection possible with another human being.
Real talk, real wisdom. All heart, all in. This is The Roxanne Show. I really have had so much fun diving into your work, prepping for this conversation. There's so many questions that I have. The first one, and this is a lot of times on podcasts, guests like to start with stuff like this, and I actually rarely do. But with you, I feel so curious to ask you, what has led you to your work? Like, what was the catalyst because even just talking to you before we did our official start, I can feel how deeply connected you are to your work. This is your fucking dharma. Like, this is your thing. To get to this place where you are living your dharma, where you are so a part of your work and your message, I feel like something, or probably several things, had to have happened in your life to bring you to this place. So I'd love to know some of that.
Like every great tragedy, without the tragedy at the end, this is the good stuff. But honestly, a massive amount of pain, right? Transformative. When you go through pain, you've got two options, right? You can feed your ego, the hungry little monster that it is, and self-soothe with whatever it is going to be, right? Auto-regulation. Or you can use the pain to transform into something greater. So I used it to transform.
Yep.
I was married for a very long time. 3 kids later, a divorce after 14 years. And during that marriage, there was a lot of stuff directed towards me that I wasn't good enough. So I'm like, I took it seriously. I've always been like yourself before we started, you were talking, introspective.
Yes.
So I've always been attuned to wanting to learn more and wanting to try to understand all things. It's my nature.
Yes.
I'm like, even in life, I just pick up little things. I'm like little nuances and little tidbits of information about anything and all things. I just love information.
Yeah. Sagittarius is a natural philosopher.
Exactly. And I minored in philosophy in my undergrad.
Oh, there you go.
So
I'm a street philosopher. So.
There you go. Yeah. So I have this deep, insatiable desire to understand people, but I also subconsciously do understand people. And now my most frustrating thing is trying to get everything out in a way that people can understand to help as many people as possible.
I love that you said frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like an agitation that makes
it's
you...
annoying.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
like,
a good annoying.
I just can't get, how do I get it out? So there's so much,
yes.
And then you've got billions of people in the world that need help. Approximately, research is like 50% are insecurely attached. So even people in relationships still aren't fully satisfied, which is why the divorce rate's like 70% approximately.
Yeah.
If you include people that want to get divorced, they can't afford it till they have kids and they're waiting. It's around 70%. So there's so many people that need help.
Yes.
So I dove deep into this work post-retirement, post-marriage. So after marriage, I retired, went full dive into a new career path, and that brought me.
Can you share the career before?
Had a family practice.
Yeah.
So which I treated 300,000 patients over 17 years, not in the psychology space, but in health space.
Incredible.
So I worked 6 days a week for 18 years.
Wow, you got a lot of data in that career as well, just like human behavior, human psychology, right?
Yeah, when you're in contact and like physically touching that many people.
Totally.
It's a different perspective. It doesn't translate linearly into this work.
Right.
but it does give you an understanding of the human condition.
Absolutely. I was a celebrity makeup artist for the larger part of my career life, and I'm working on women and men and their image. But there's so much underneath that, and just, the conversations and literally touching as well, and just being in close contact with, especially so many high profile individuals, absolutely also gave to me and to my work. So I understand that very well. It's not linear. It's not a direct connection, but indirectly it does support everything that you're doing now.
Yeah. It's experience.
Totally.
And it's like Alex Hormozy, he says, it's like just skills. You just build skills.
Yes.
So I've got the accumulation of 30 years of skills and experience.
Amazing.
And everything on my page.
Yeah.
The reason it hits so hard is because I have been on the giving or receiving end of everything on there. From narcissism to anxious to avoidant to everything in between.
Yep.
So I'm personally, viscerally, it hits for me.
Yes.
So when I'm having conversations and when I'm coaching people, I don't make it about me, but I'll say, I get this. I've been there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can really hold their experience because you have processed it in your own life. And I think that builds safety and trust. It's authentic. And that to me is I know that as a coach and a mentor myself, there's embodiment in your wisdom, and it's so fucking clear with you. Like it's I can viscerally feel everything is energy to me, right? It's my first language. I'm fluent in, and I can feel it coming off of you. It is not performance. It is not, I'm trying to say the right thing I'm not to say that you don't want to shape your message to be effective, but it is coming from a very authentic source. So I feel that very deeply with you.
This is why my page is so direct.
Yeah.
I can't sugarcoat it, right? And I don't use AI because AI is way too pretty for verbs, for verbiage rather. And I'm like, AI, you're too nice. I can't. It's not going to work here.
You're too polished. No, we like a little raw, rugged. Yes.
It's like, what if I want to hurt their feelings a little bit because they need to they need to understand, right?
Yes.
So I am known for being very direct, very to the point. We're calling people out on their own limiting beliefs or things that have restricted them. Because when they come to me, it's experiential learning as part of the coaching process.
Yeah. So
you can't try to recreate and curate the same experience that you've been having and try to expect another outcome.
Sure.
So I call them out and say, like, listen, these are your blind spots. This is what you're missing. I think this is what's going on based on what you're telling me, based on your past, your attachment, your relationship history. Let's try to have a different experience. Let's try to reprogram that nervous system in real time going forward by doing something different than what you've done. Because what you're doing clearly isn't working. And I'm not saying that you're wrong,
right,
or that you're bad, but I'm telling you the outcome is not what you want.
Right. Clearly.
Let's just redo it.
Yeah.
Somehow different.
So attachment science is the proper way to sort of title what all of your work, right? Like what your work is centered on.
It is centered on attachment science, yeah. And attachment theory is the old term, but now, since John Baldy, years and years ago, came up with the idea of attachment theory, it's been proven with mountains of empirical evidence to support the validity of the theory. So it is more of a science.
Yep.
And so many people, Adam Lane Smith, he calls it science as well. People in the space that are true people in the attachment space use the word science.
Got it.
Because it is replicatable. If you do specific things, specific outcomes happen. Yep. And specific patterns in youth and exposure create specific outcomes. Highly predictable.
Well, so just to set the table, with the language, because I've seen so many different sort of titles, and there's anxious avoidant, there's avoidant, fearful, dismissive, and there's sub categories.
It's confusing. It really
and
it
you
can
simplify it. I feel like you condensed it. You kind of broke it down in very simple. I think there's 3 or 4 with you. Or?
There's technically 4, but really there's 3 categories.
Okay.
Right. Secure.
Sure. Yep.
Anxious, anxious, preoccupied. Preoccupied as in like you're just preoccupied with everything and all things, right? But really it's just anxious.
Yeah.
And then there is avoidant.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
But there's 2 types of avoidant. There is dismissive avoidant, who's like flatline, which people confuse with secure, but that's we'll get to that.
Yep.
And then there's disorganized, also known as anxious avoidant, also known as fearful avoidant.
Okay.
So that's where it gets confusing, is one thing has three names, but it's just called disorganized.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's a little anxious and a little avoidant.
Okay.
So really there's four. Disorganized.
Yep.
Avoidant. Anxious and secure. That's it.
Got it. Okay. Man, okay. You were saying how on your page, just through your work, that you're very direct. And I love that because I'm a no bullshit. Like, let's just, no surface talk. Like, there are several things I've heard you say in conversation, prepping for this one. And one that was really striking to me that is very direct. And I know from listening to you, and I can understand why, kind of ruffles feathers a bit. And that is, to quote you, that, I don't want to get it wrong. I want to say it exactly. Hold on.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but I might be wrong.
Do you want to say it?
The love is not a feeling? Yeah.
You know why I wanted you to just do it?
I love it.
Because I wanted to, because I felt like you were going to be correct. And it just proves the alignment in this moment. Not that I need proof, but because I can feel it. Fuck yeah.
It's the one thing, particularly with women, that really just, honestly, it pisses you off. It just does.
But I get it. And I want you to, so can you say it again?
Love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. Okay, it is an action word.
Yes.
And it confuses people. It confuses people because they think you can only have one or the other. That's, I think, the disconnect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
The two can coexist.
Yeah.
But one does not equal the other. Understand?
Yep.
It is not linear. I have the feelings, therefore I must love. Or I do love because I have the feelings. No. If I meet a hot woman on the first date and I'm super attracted to her, I have lots of feelings.
Yeah.
But I have no clue who she is.
Right.
I do not love her.
Right. So you do not love her. What does that actually mean? Like, let's break this open, because I think a lot of people lean forward and want to understand this. I think it is very powerful, and I think it's very important to understand what you're saying.
From the attachment space. So remember the lens that we're looking at things from. Okay. Someone who is either disorganized, so the anxious avoidant, or anxiously attached, will attribute the feelings they have in early relationship to that person being the one because it's intense. Okay. People that are anxious and or disorganized use terms like soulmate, twin flame, the one. I found my person real fast. Okay. Because they are using the pivot point for what they will do as the emotions and the feelings. Okay.
They're using the pivot point for what they will. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I love that. Yep.
So if you're thinking about a basketball player, your feelings and your emotions are your pivot point. That sits. That is where you guide in the front foot. Where you're going to go is based on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so all decisions they make are from there. That's the entire inherent problem. Okay, because they will think, because I have strong, intense feelings, this has to be the right person.
Yeah.
And they will then, by default, ignore all of the red flags, the yellow caution flags, all of the things, the misalignments.
I was literally just thinking that word. Yep.
Yeah, and they're going to run with it because the feelings are so tense. So how could it possibly be wrong?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But oftentimes, and particularly with someone who is disorganized, you're going to create trauma bonds. Which are intense feelings.
Yeah.
This would be the twin flame.
Okay.
Right? Twin flame is a way to create a really interesting sort of a term like soulmate to justify a really toxic trauma bonded relationship. Oof. Right? People don't like that either.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Bring it.
Because it calls them out on their toxic behavior. And I have conversations with people, and when I kind of break it down, they're like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yes.
I'm like they'll start the conversation saying how tumultuous and how unhealthy the relationship is. Yeah, but it's more complicated because he's my twin flame. I'm like, let me just break this down, because let's go back to what you told me about. You have a traumatic, trauma-bonded, toxic, passionate relationship.
Yes.
Call it what you want. Call it pickles. It's really unhealthy. Okay. Right. And it doesn't matter. Just because people throw names on things doesn't mean that it's better.
1,000%. Right. And that's a very sort of dangerous thing to do because now you are, you're being so loyal to a term that you're disconnected from the reality of what the relationship is actually fucking doing and showing you.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, this is people will want a confirmation bias that they're either right or wrong.
Right.
Okay. That someone else is wrong or that they're right.
Right.
So they'll use terms to confirm the bias that they should stay there. Right.
Yep.
We're not trauma bonded. We're toxic. We're twin flames.
Right.
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 So, but it really comes down to not wanting to objectively look at the relationship and what it's built on.
So that's the problem or the challenge, right? Objectively, because feelings and the objective lens, they don't really go together, right?
And here's the issue, and it's not people's fault. It's the way society is, and quite honestly, I mean, it's social media and it's television.
Totally.
Right? Because we're trained. From a very young age, you watch Cinderella, you watch Sleeping Beauty, you watch Snow White, you watch all these sort of things. There's romanticization of a marriage and of a relationship, which is good. I'm all for that. I'm all for soulmates. I'm all for I am madly in love with my person, crazy feelings. I'm not saying love can't have feelings, but what I am saying is feelings don't always equal love.
Boom.
That's the difference.
That's it right there.
And the problem is people connect the two too quickly, thinking I have feelings, it must be love. I love them. It's like, well, no. The de-romanticization is what people hate. Because when you remove the two, you have to be forced with the reality that marriage is a business.
Yeah.
And people don't like that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, that seems boring. That seems like work. That seems like it's a chore.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem very romantic. I'm like, and? What else do you have to say? Is there anything else? What's the problem?
I'm glad we're clear on that now.
Right. Now that we got that out of the way, it doesn't mean you can't have crazy sex. It doesn't mean you can't have spontaneity. It doesn't mean you can't do whatever. It doesn't mean you don't have all the crazy feelings. It just means that is secondary to the stability that you two create together in a relationship.
Yes. So when you say love is a choice and it's action, because I do feel that it's a verb, it's a decision every day and not just in one way, but in many ways, right? And how you're showing up. Yeah. How do you kind of break that apart, or how do you like to speak about that specifically the choice part of it?
Well, here's the thing. If you've been married long enough, like I have, or you've been in a relationship long enough, you realize there are some days, some weeks, some months, you're not going to like your partner. The feelings aren't going to be there. Yeah. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be disconnected.
Yeah.
I like to put it in another perspective because I coach a lot of people with children. Okay. There's a book I read, and I'm sorry, there's so many of this title. It was called Soulmates. And I wish I knew the author, but this was decades ago.
Yeah.
And it describes the different stages of love. And there's a number of them. Of course, it starts with limerence. Over time in a relationship, and it takes approximately 15 to 17 years to get to the point where your partner, you have the same type of love for them as you do a child.
Interesting.
They are infallible.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what they do, your feelings and your love and your devotion will never change. So when I make this point, I use people's children as an example. And what could your child do that would ever make you stop loving them or choose them? I mean, nothing, right? Do your children piss you off? Do they make you frustrated? Are you like, what is going on with them? Like, are you sure it's mine sometimes? You know? Like, don't we have like a trade-in program in the hospital? Like, you should be like, go pick the one that cries the least out of the nursery. Like you've been there. We've all been there if you've got kids.
Yeah.
Even with the lack of feelings and the presence of frustration, whatever it is, you still will choose that child no matter what. That is a choice.
Yes.
You will show up. Yep. You will pick the kid up at 2 a.m. if they're out at a party and they're drunk. That there's not a question for that. But how many people could say they do that for their spouse or their partner?
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So it is a choice, no matter what the feeling is.
Yes.
Right? These two are separate. You choose to love your partner. By default, the feelings will follow. Right? So Joe Dispenza says this: the nerves that fire together wire together. You know. So action precedes feelings, not the other way around. If you're a gym person, this also holds weight.
Yep.
There's a lot of times I don't feel like going to the gym, but I go anyway. Right? Because I know I will feel better afterwards.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
You know, with your partner, as long as there hasn't been something horrible to breach trust in an affair or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a feeling of resentment or frustration, which is inevitable in relationships, if you make the actions and you have the conversations and you continue to do the things and you make the efforts mutually to build the business of the relationship, which is a separate entity, you co-create the relationship, the feelings will start to come back.
And this is, I just feel like it's important to say, it's not even just a marriage thing. This is just in partnership with an individual, right?
100%.
Yeah. What's happening physiologically, the neuroscience, neurobiologically in us when we meet the person that's giving us feelings?
Number one, the dopamine is the driver, right? Most people don't understand what dopamine does or what it is for, okay? And dopamine is to get you to build, to create. It is a motivating hormone. It is not the thing that you get after you do the thing. And this is the inherent problem. The relationship is usually the result of dopamine. But if you're not getting the relationship, you're constantly going to chase the dopamine until you get the relationship.
Okay, we have to say that one more time. That's really good.
Right.
Okay.
This is if you're constantly in the state where you're not being satisfied with a relationship or something that has been built with dopamine, you will get a dopamine drop at the end and you're going to constantly be wanting more. You chase dopamine.
Right.
Because dopamine is designed to get you off the couch, not on your phone swiping on an app.
Yeah.
Right? You get no reward.
Right.
And when you do get a reward with a match of somebody, there's still nothing tangible and physical to substantiate the dopamine drive to get it. So it is fleeting and fast and highly addictive.
Oof.
This is a problem.
Yes.
In real life, dopamine is what gets the man to pursue the woman.
Right.
Dopamine is what gets the woman to show up to the date. It's exciting.
Yep.
We need it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Cortisol is the antagonist. That is the opposite. When cortisol comes in, dopamine goes away. That's the stress hormone.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So if you're anxiously attached or you're anxious avoidant, disorganized, the dopamine cortisol, massive swings. Right?
Okay.
When you don't hear from the person, your cortisol spikes. You do anything to make the pain go away, the cortisol, so you'll chase something just to get the dopamine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the dopamine is in the chase. Then you get it, and then you're happy until it's gone. Then you're unhappy.
Until it's gone. Right.
That's number one. Number two, particularly with the anxious, avoidant, disorganized, or the anxious person, oxytocin. And this is heavy in women.
Yes.
Women have more oxytocin because you have to bond much differently and faster than men because you guys have babies, we don't.
Right.
Men are more, or women are more designed for community as well, which is why women having a sense of community, girlfriends, whatever that looks like is vitally important for you guys.
Right.
You are physiologically designed to bond.
Right.
Which is the frustrating thing for women because they think men are designed the same. And traditional therapy tries to tell women that men should be the same so we can just try to get them to bond like you do through conversation and talking. It doesn't work like that. Men don't bond like that.
Right.
Right? Women do. So oxytocin is spending time, physical touch.
Right.
Right? This gets you connected and bonded to your person very, very fast.
Right.
Oxytocin.
Okay.
Men have that, but at a lower amount. Men have vasopressin. Vasopressin is what do men like to do with problems?
Solve them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. When you give men problems to solve in a relationship, they bond with you.
Yes.
Which is why men typically, the majority, I would argue, as a man, we like to do things for our person.
Be in service.
Be in service. Acts of service all day long.
Yes.
My girlfriend, I kind of joke. I'm like, since I met you, have you done anything? If she were right here, she'd be like, I'm pink. Why would I? But I'm like, it's not resentful because I'm I like that I have someone to do everything for.
Yeah. No, totally. It's
right.
I am a older sister to 3 brothers, and we're very close in age, like a year apart. So I'm almost like an older brother, older sister. But it's been really valuable without even being conscious of it growing up, just to be in such close proximity to boys that grew into men, and to also in so many ways be their protector, but also like their best friend. There's a lot of experience around being around boys and men that has helped me understand, and that's outside of just my own love life and experience. But it is it's so true. I really feel this deeply that men, it's respect, it's being in service, it is that problem solving that fuels you and makes you feel like you're doing the thing, you're doing it right, you're doing it good. Yeah.
The number one thing men need, and I don't really talk about this women in coaching, is men need purpose and mission. Without that, men are lost.
Yeah.
Right? Inside a relationship or outside.
That makes sense from a, biological, like
even from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
What's the number one most enticing? Why do women love the CEO? Why do women love the entrepreneur?
That's right.
The business owner.
Yeah.
Because he's on purpose. He's on mission. This guy, like, he knows what he wants and he's going for it.
Yes.
And it's really not about the money.
No.
Right? The really insecure women will be like, oh, it's about the money. I want nice things. I'm like, okay, well, grow up. When you're an adult, we have a conversation.
It's about clear direction.
Clear direction.
Right.
Because if he has a clear direction, your probability of resource stability, consistency, predictability, he creates a future cast for you that you can see and you have stability. Because again, it all comes down to evolutionary biology.
Totally.
Whether you want to have kids or not, your body is designed to do it. So hormonally, you're going to want stability because of the idea that you may potentially have yourself and or children to take care of.
Yes.
You need stability if the world blows up. He's got to be able to this is his GABA, the hormone, which is what's released after sex for men primarily, which is why we kind of like go to sleep. And woman's like, I have energy. Let's do something. He's like, my gabapentin's killing me right now. That's gabapentin, but it gives you the idea of the man, like, I got this, babe. They're just zombies.
Yeah.
We're good.
I think it's so helpful and useful. I mean, I'm obviously a lover of neuroscience, certified and, applied neuroscience, brain health. But it helps because it's so easy to get lost in the sort of feelings and the emotions of life, of ourself. And then there's stories that come from that and all that. But when we can kind of get more clinical and just understand this part of it, I do think it helps in so many different ways. One of the things I want to say, for me, something that I've expressed just in conversation around partnership and personally, like, what is one of the most important things for me when I'm thinking about man partnership is his instincts. So, because my intuition is a secret weapon.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my man knows, right? Like, I'm an oracle. And and on the other end of that, for me, it's what are your instincts? And not just in one sort of way, right? It's just how do you move and think in life? And so the reason why that came to my mind is because when we're talking about why do you like the CEO? Why do you, it's that clear, it's that direction. And also and this goes back to the whole evolutionary aspect of things, like, why does the woman want the king of the jungle?
Right.
It is your instincts to protect primarily, even if it's you don't have kids. But I'm curious to what you say about this, and I know I'm taking us off, but I do that. And this is going to be really interesting for me to say. Most people who know me, who see me, I'm a very strong woman, very edgy, or whatever. And it's just natural. Like, I've been this way. I'm older sister to 3 brothers. Trained jiu-jitsu. Like, I got
straight up ninja over there.
But I just have, like, I'm more equipped than more women to protect myself, even physically.
Right.
I trust myself. I have boundaries that whenever needed and ready, I will,
Did you have a good relationship, or do you have a good relationship with your mother?
Very.
There you go. The mom's job in childhood, do you know what it is?
What?
Your mom's job was to give you a clear sense of intuition, to learn to trust yourself, to trust your feelings.
Well, what's amazing is my mother, we unfortunately or fortunately, whatever, because I love who I am and I love every part of my life. And, you wouldn't want to change anything but my mother, we grew up in a house of violence. My father was, he used to fucking beat my mom and beat us. My mom had to run away. When I say run away, meaning like there was a point where it was like, if I don't do something now, like I might not be here anymore, that kind of thing. And so there were 5 years where my siblings, we were disconnected from mom, and the mom came back like it's very cinematic. And we moved with mom, and we're still at a very young age. I was 12, and so all this is to say is my mom is a warrior. She's a fucking hero, and there are a lot of things that took place in her life where, she really did want to, if it could not happen to me, she wants to make sure of that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but teaching how to trust yourself, definitely that has been a very important part of our connection.
Yeah.
And also, I will say though, I've been a maverick my whole life, so there's always been this, I'm going to do it my way.
Right.
So I've had to learn how to trust myself.
That's the thing, though, with a mom as well. Like a mom that allows a mom that is not too overbearing and says, no, your way is wrong. The biggest damage I think a mother can do, specifically to a young girl, is to say, your way is the wrong way.
Sure.
You can't do it that way. Sometimes it means, okay, I am going to support you with doing that. If that's what you feel you need to do, I'm going to be here. And you might have to figure it out on your own. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's where she is being too, motherly and overbearing. Like, their job is to protect you, keep you safe, but it's also to teach you to listen to your feelings. And you figure out, okay, well, maybe that feeling had a really bad outcome. Maybe that wasn't a good one. And she'd be like, it's okay. Like, now you know.
Yeah.
And without berating you, without saying, see, I was right.
Yes.
Without making you feel guilty for having the feeling. She's to teach you that your feelings are okay, that you need to listen to them, and you need to figure out that discernment factor. Which ones are going to serve me right? Which one's going to serve me wrong? Maybe I should interpret this one differently or that. Her job is to develop that. The father's job, and in your case, it might be a little bit more challenging here, but the father's job is to teach you that you are safe in the world.
So, this is where I was going to go when I was like, I'm going to say something and it's going to be really interesting because by no means am I trying to put down a woman's ability to, I'm the very opposite of that. Like one of my favorite words is capable. So I'm not trying to put down what a woman's capable of doing or what.
Capacity is not the question.
No. There is something, I believe, and maybe a lot of women will feel this listening to this right now. And this is coming from a woman who can fucking protect myself in many ways, right? I still think there's something in being a woman walking the earth that just from a physiological, biological, evolutionary fucking standpoint, where there's a vulnerability that is really, how do I want to frame this? This vulnerability makes it is one of the reasons why it's so important for me personally to be with a man whose instincts are fucking, I'll just, like in my language, it's like lethal. So whether it's business, whether it's physical, whether it's, just to know
you're describing masculine, feminine polarity is what you're
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm pointing out something that I think, because it's really, I'm not, I am woman, hear me roar. Like I've never had to do that. And my brothers have always respected. That's my fucking older sister. She's doing more pull-ups than me until I couldn't, and then the roles switched. But so I've never had to prove myself as a woman. I'm not strong. I'm strong, whatever.
Yeah, insecure women feel they have to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Right. That would be the anxious attachment or anxious avoidant. These are the people that, it's really dangerous for women. And I coach women that are like billionaires.
Yes.
Like single and like worth ridiculous amounts of money. I coach them because they don't want me. It's got nothing to do with business. It's got to do with, okay, I want a man and I have needs. I need a man to take care of me in these ways. We're talking ultra high net worth individuals.
Yes.
More than one.
Yeah.
The most dangerous thing a successful woman can do is, I don't need a man. You tell a man that, good luck with that.
I agree.
Protection, loyalty, commitment, out the window. Why on earth would he be there? Oh, he should be secure. If he was secure, he would just give me the emotions. He would just talk about things with me. Yeah, if he's a woman.
Right.
It's like, you want your cake, you want to eat it too. Just like be a lesbian, you'll be good.
Right, you're fine. No, it's so true.
It's like you're having so women will say, the women that they're hyper independent and they pride themselves, I am woman, hear me roar.
Yeah.
Again, all the power to you.
Sure.
Make the billions, great.
Yeah.
But don't think that that's a plus from a man's perspective. And don't tell me, because it's a story you sold yourself. Don't tell me that only, a secure man will be okay with my billions. Okay, number one, different conversation. A secure man's not going to be offended by your billions. He's not going to care.
Right.
Like, if you got billions, I'll date you. Daddy needs a new car. I mean, I just expect my birthday's going to be epic. Like, obviously.
Obviously.
Right? Like.
Right. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
We're good there. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's so
true. But
true.
showing up in a relationship, that woman has got to be able to take that masculine energy and chill it the F out. Right?
Yeah.
And allow the guy to contribute, to support, to have a mission, to have a purpose. That's the challenge. That is the crux of being ultra successful as a woman. And it is what it is. You can't have it all sometimes. That's their challenge. Right?
Yeah.
So when I coach these women that are uber successful, one of the things is how do you allow, in relationship, the men can't keep up financially, it's just not going to happen. Right. But how does the man show up in a way to keep her safe in his masculine, to make plans, to pay for dates? These women are intelligent. They know if they want to go to Mykonos for their birthday that he's probably not going to be able to pay for it, right? Yeah. But they have to allow him to be able to take her on a vacation that is like comparable. And if she wants to go to a nicer place, he's got to be secure enough to say, like, listen, if you want to go there, I can't pay. You'll have to make the difference. I can contribute this. And she's got to let him.
So
very challenging.
Totally. Because this hyper independence comes from, I'm a very independent woman, but I wouldn't say hyper. I would just say, I can handle my own. And, that's, and I love that. But, and going back to mom and love mom, I will always let a man be a man. Yeah. Like, let a man be a man, And I think that when you, this whole, I don't need a man, I agree with you. This, first of all, it's just
a protective mechanism.
Yes, that's where I was going to go. It's fear-based, right?
It is.
And it's so, what's interesting, and I'd love for you to speak about this, you coach these women, but I feel like it becomes so a part of your identity when you're this hyper independent, you're rigid in your identity, right? Like, so you don't know yet until you work with Chris, how to let go of, that part of your identity and allow your independence to be healthy and to still be there. But the hyper part of it, that is really an over-controlling, rigid, fear-based part of it, to, dissipate so that there's space for a man to come in.
Yeah. And I get it. These women, and I'm sure your viewers will agree, well, I'm like that because men have always let me down. I get it. I do. And I understand. There is fear. There is fear that, like, I have to be independent. Because the last 5 times I let a man in my life, after 6 months or a year, he flipped and he was like, he couldn't show up. He couldn't hold space for me. He didn't do what he said.
Yes.
Right? So they have been let down. Yeah. Maybe the first figure was their father. Dad let me down. But they want it. They just don't trust it. That's disorganized. And research shows, the book Attached labels disorganized at about 2%. I don't think there's an attachment coach on the planet that will agree with that. I think that number is wild. I think it's missing at 0. I think it's approximately 20%, maybe 25%, and very high on women are disorganized. In my coaching space, that is the number one attachment I see in female is disorganized, fearful, avoidant.
That's incredible.
They want it.
Yeah.
But it's also the source of your pain. And this comes from a childhood similar to yours, right? Disorganized is like there's chaos in childhood.
Yes.
It's you can't, you obviously have a deep innate desire to have connection and closeness with your father. He's your father.
Sure.
But you couldn't trust his stability. So the source of your security also became the source of your pain. That's disorganized.
Right.
Right? I want it, but I don't trust it.
Yes.
So they'll get close, but then when they get close, they get overwhelmed because they're like, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
something will happen.
Right.
I'm slow to trust. I can't trust you. I know you're going to let me down. I'm just waiting for something to happen. And they're primed. Their system is preloaded with this cortisol dump that's just waiting. Yeah. So they're constantly looking for little things to confirm the bias that this isn't the right relationship. It can't be right. I'm getting too close. It can't be right because I'm close to you.
So, well, it's funny. So we're talking about the masculine, feminine polarity. And then I'm thinking as we're moving deeper into this part of the conversation, and then at the root, there is your work, it's the attachment science, right? Because if, for example, to clarify, going back to the women, right, these, women who just got it going on, but their experience has taught them to be hyper independent. The man has let them down, but maybe underneath all that is because the dynamic here, whatever, maybe it's that the experience that they've had with men in their life boils down to they were with maybe an anxious avoidant or whatever their attachment style is. And then, but they didn't have that language and they didn't know how to, right? So then it feeds into this.
The antidote for someone who has that disorganized attachment is secure.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the challenge.
For both. Okay.
Yeah. Because the disorganized attachment, whether you're male or female.
Yes.
And I've had a conversation recently. And male-female attachment, what you need is different. It's much more important for a female who has disorganized to have a male who is secure as all hell. Because a woman, even in a secure relationship, is going to have emotional volatility.
Right.
Because you have your luteal phase.
Yes.
You've got different phases, right? You guys are on a moon cycle, 30 days, right? Approximately, 28.
28
it's
30,
like, whatever. So you have men are on a sun cycle. It's a yearly cycle.
Right.
So women have emotional fluctuations that are large, right?
And real.
And frequent.
Yes.
And a man needs to be stable and consistent and predictable in order for you to be in your feminine. So attachments also has a factor of male-female.
Right.
Right? So a female that's disorganized needs a male who is stable as all heck. Because her disorganized means her emotional mood's going to go like this. She's I'm not going to trust you. I'm like this. If he gives her one thing to break her trust, back to zero every time. Okay. Her reference point of trust is at zero. So he's constantly, if he's insecure, going to tell you I'm walking on eggshells. I constantly have to prove myself, or he's going to be highly performative and constantly be trying to show, or he's going to have a deep shame wound. And if he does do things, he's not going to tell you what he did because he doesn't want to push you away, which is going to create a whole another bucket of worms you don't want to have.
Right.
So you realize all these problems when you are disorganized, you need a specific person because the antidote for disorganized is you need someone who can weather the storm. This isn't an emotional punching bag.
Yes.
Okay. This isn't an emotional dumpster.
Right.
So he's not, you can't abuse him. You can't dump all your emotions on him.
Yeah.
He will be able to have boundaries, but he's also going to be able to say, if you need a little space, great, take some space, but you're not taking 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right? We're going to have a conversation in a day.
And you're saying that could this go both ways though? I know we're focusing on disorganized as the woman. She needs the man. It's like the visual for me because I'm an artist is I see the waves and you need a rock for the waves to crash on, which.
Exactly. Men do need the same, but that's the inherent challenge.
Okay.
Because a woman, one of you guys' biggest fears is you don't want to have to manufacture peace in a relationship to satisfy a man's emotional state.
Yeah.
Men want peace.
Right.
But an insecure man isn't going to create an environment where you can bring peace to it. An insecure man is going to create volatility and inconsistency, unpredictability, instability.
Yes.
How can you possibly bring peace into his life if he doesn't have a life that is peaceful to begin with? If he doesn't have an emotional state that entices you to be in your feminine, which is bringing peace into his life. So the dynamic is different because your needs fundamentally from the masculine and feminine are different.
Right.
Having said that, if a man is mildly disorganized, anxious, avoidant, definitely needs a woman who's just like, listen, I'm not going to be overbearing. If you need your space, take your space. But you don't got 2 weeks. You got a day. And then we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then she's going to make decisions which are boundaries for herself, independent of what he does.
Okay. I'm biting my lip right now because I just want to say this. I fucking love your whole deal on boundaries.
Right.
When I talk about boundaries a lot of time, I put self in front of it.
Right.
Self boundaries.
Yeah.
And
It
I think
confuses
they
people.
overlap because it really is about what you are going to do. Like when I was just saying earlier, I've got boundaries that I'm ready to and it's more of what I'm going to do with myself in this situation. Please.
And people use the terms, and I love this because like we talked about earlier, just because you call something doesn't mean that's what it is.
Right.
You can't be like, look at that nice Ferrari. I'm like, that's a Toyota Celica. Why are you calling it? It doesn't mean it's a Ferrari because you called it that.
Right.
Like, so don't call something a boundary. Here's an example. You can't dress like that. If you keep dressing like that, because it's provocative when you go out with your girlfriends, I'm going to leave. That's my boundary.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we could also call it control. Maybe. I mean, just as a secondary option, I think we might want to consider that's on the table. Okay.
Wow.
So it's like,
so true. I think, and I just can't, like social media is what comes, because these terms and then it gets, people run away with it. Yeah.
The basics of a boundary versus controls, who has to make a change?
Who has to make a change?
Or who's going to make a change?
Beautiful.
Right? Boundary is, listen, I'm uncomfortable with how you dress when you go out with your girlfriends. If that sort of a thing continues, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm uncomfortable with it. It expresses a pattern. I notice when you go out with your girlfriends, you tend to dress like a little more provocative. It gives me a little anxiety. I know you're beautiful. You're probably going to get hit on. And I don't know continuing if that's something that I'm really that comfortable with. I think our values might be disconnected.
Yeah.
Like if that's something that you're going to continue, I don't want to feel like this. I might have to make a decision for myself if this is the type of relationship that I want to stay in.
Yes.
It's a conversation. They're pointing out what you're doing without telling you have to change in order for them to feel good. Right? A boundary is really three things. It's I notice, this is the pattern.
Okay.
I feel, right?
Yep.
I will. What am I going to do?
I notice, I feel, I will.
Yeah.
That's really good.
They're I statements.
Yes.
Right.
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 And they're not telling you need to do something in order for them to feel good. They're just telling you how they feel with something.
Yeah.
And it's this really subtle, nuanced distinction, which is why people get really confused by it. Well, the person still has to make a change or you're going to leave. It's like, well, no, they can do what they want. You've given them full autonomy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Dress how you want. I'm telling you how I feel with it.
Right.
Right? And here's an example, particularly with women, and particularly with someone who's an avoidant. Boundaries are super important because the avoidant, the dismissive avoidant, number one fear is, so the disorganized number one fear is I don't trust love. I want it, but I don't trust it. I fear the connection, but I want the connection. That's the crux. The dismissive is I fear engulfment. I fear loss of independence. I fear this person's going to try to control me.
Yep.
So with an avoidant individual, let's say you're avoidant and you start pulling away. If you keep pulling away, I'm leaving. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you keep pulling away, I'm going to chase you, which is like, I'm going to just engulf you. Let me just take over your life. Again, good luck with that one.
Right.
So the boundary would be, I notice when we get close, you tend to become a little more distant. This gives me a little anxiety. I really need consistency. I need closeness.
Yeah.
I would love to have a conversation because this isn't the type of relationship that I can continue on for myself with unpredictability.
Yeah.
I need consistency.
You're the secure person right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're telling them like, you're welcome to take your space, but this isn't something that makes me feel good and something that I want to continue on.
Right.
Right? You're free to take your space. I'm not sure if this is what I want to do. I'm not sure if that works for me. That's a boundary.
It's so huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Or another one would be, say you've got a guy friend.
Yeah.
Right? And so say you're the avoidant. There's a ton of avoidant women. About 25% of women are avoidant. 50% are insecure. 50% are secure, men and women. And insecure meaning anxious, avoidant, disorganized.
Yep.
So say you're going to meet a guy friend. So how you express that in a really healthy, secure way is, listen, I know you're going to meet Bob. And, I don't love that you're going to meet Bob. I just don't. He's a good looking dude. He's a successful corporate CEO, whatever. I know you guys are college friends, but I need you to know how I feel.
Yeah.
Right? I get a little jealous. He's super successful. He's super good looking. Right? I support whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never going to bring it up. I promise you I'm not going to be resentful. I just want you to know how I feel based on that. And I want you to know that I'm supportive of whatever decision you make. Now, this isn't manipulation.
No.
This is just leaving you to autonomously make a decision while still being informed about my feelings. The dangerous part in someone that's insecure, someone who's anxious, will absolutely say nothing and build resentment and bitterness inside.
Yeah.
Then I'll start probably picking fights with you for no reason.
Being passive aggressive, all that
chirping,
stuff.
Oh, did you guys make out? Or,
Chirping.
Maybe you probably want Bob, and it's like, Bob is, Bob that. What about Bob?
What about Such a great movie.
It really was. Richard Dreyfuss. Oh my God.
Good. That's so funny, but it's so true.
But that's the truth.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and that's part of the therapy that I do, and with attachment, it's emotionally focused. Expressing feelings without making them your problem is the role in relationship, informing you of how I feel. That's the thing that modern therapy misses. It's not getting men to communicate in the way that women need to communicate.
Yeah.
It's just simply getting men to be able to identify and sit with the feelings they do have and to be able to convey that.
Right.
Without making them your responsibility, mothering, to fix for me.
Being an introspective woman, my entire life, writing, which is very deep for me because, and this is, I'm talking as a little girl, it was my self-sanctuary. It was this safe place for me to be with myself. And I developed a very honest relationship with myself because I created safety and trust to be honest with myself on the page. And and I never talk really about my love life online. I like my, this part of my life to be more private. But what I do want to say, because I have to right now, is that it's been robust. It's been robust. It's been really wonderful, actually. There was a good 9 to 10 years of no person really here, right? Like, meaning like I wasn't, and I've never been a dater just because I don't even like that. And this is maybe me being an asshole with words as a writer. Just like, I don't like the style. Like, I don't want to fucking know your resume. I'm more of, I want the truth, I want the real shit, the substance, not the polished fucking highlight reel. Because honestly, I'll see right through it anyways. So
you want all the juice without the squeeze, is what you're telling me.
Well,
you don't want to do any work for
it. I'm a fucking athlete. No, I just don't like the bull. I don't like surface.
Yeah, I get it.
Because the thing is, I'll fucking see right through it anyways.
Right.
And I'm not going to bring you that. So like, I just want the truth. Like, let's just go right into the, So here's what I want to share here is that, and it really connects. I'm going to connect where we just were. Is that knowing how to communicate your feelings, there's layers to this. So it's having the language, that's one thing, and that's important. But I think it's also, have you really come to understand your feelings and what is the relationship that you have with your feelings? Now, this is where, at being introspective, sitting with myself, like as the norm, as the constant. I am more introverted, and people are always like, "What the fuck?" Because I'm very open. I'm very no. But for me to recharge,
the introverted extrovert. I get it. I'm the same.
Yeah, the ambivert, whatever you want to fucking call.
Yeah.
But I need, because I'm in a relationship with myself, and I love her, but I have sat with her, and I've sat with her when it has not been easy, and when it would just be easier to avoid, to run away, to, numb, to do the thing. No. We have, and, writing has been very huge for me in that. It's like, no, this sucks. This is uncomfortable. This is ugly. This fucking, but I've shown myself, and even from a nervous system perspective, that even when it sucks, even when it's uncomfortable, I'm not going to leave you. we're going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there's so much that comes with that. And going back to where you were, it's done a lot for me in my life, but one of the greatest things has been being able to really look at feelings and to ask myself questions about them. So it's not this, I'm feeling this, so this is a truth and this is, and then you have all the stories, but like, let me actually look at what's going the fuck on here with this feeling. And then this also has helped me. And I do know that I have a gift with communication. I can say that very, just cleanly. I mean, fucking podcaster of almost 10 years now, but it is my thing, double Gemini. But so I could put language to this, but beyond the language, it's more of, I've come to understand myself. I've come to understand feelings and from that been able to go, okay, well, what could be the most effective way to communicate this feeling? So I feel like and I'd love for just, what you think and what you feel about what I'm sharing with you, but if more people gave themselves this kind of opportunity to sit with their feelings a bit and just look at them and don't be so quick to let them consume you, which is hard because feelings feel, right? Energy and motion. It's feelings are, your emotional state. It's the interpretation of it, right?
This is reminiscent of how we are raised. Okay. So to start from square one, as a child, co-regulation is the first thing that we're supposed to learn. Okay. Oxytocin with mom, is quite unique.
Yeah.
Women are designed for babies. If women don't like your whole body, your carrying angle, you put your arm out like this, you notice mine goes straight. Yours is a carrying angle, comes down, it's going to go out at an angle. Your forearm goes, I can't even do it, but it goes like this because it's designed. When you do this, your arm goes out slightly to hold and cradle a baby. Yeah.
Wow.
It's called a carrying angle. The distance from your eyes to your forearm or for holding a baby, that's the depth perception of a newborn child.
No.
To your eyeballs.
Oh.
Do you know why?
Why?
Oxytocin.
Oh, wow.
When you look at your baby,
when
you breastfeed your baby, oxytocin, oxytocin, oxytocin. When you touch them, oxytocin.
Wow.
The baby is bonding with you every single way you are genetically designed. That's why oxytocin is so important for you.
Yes.
Okay. Co-regulation is no matter what your child's state, happy, sad, indifferent, you're there to make them feel better.
Yep.
Okay. That's co-regulation. When the child becomes old enough, you slowly move them into autoregulation. That's like a soother and things like this, happens pretty quick.
Yep.
Co-regulation is you can use something external to you to make yourself feel better.
Okay.
You don't need mom for everything. Here's a soother, here's a phone, here's whatever it is. Okay. When the child gets, and very, very, very slowly, as they age, they go into self-regulation. What age do you think people are typically able to fully self-regulate? Meaning, I can manage my emotional state fully. Supposed to. What age?
Supposed to? God, I don't know how to answer. Because I feel like it's a lot later in the game than maybe.
It is. And you think, how old? Teenagers, 20s, 30s, 40s?
No,
what's the number?
Yeah, I feel like it's easy. Honestly, I feel like it's in the 30s to 40s.
But it's about 25.
Okay, really?
So it takes about 25 years for a human in a healthy environment.
Okay, got it.
We're talking healthy. Mom's co-regulated, dad's co-regulated, you've got healthy auto-regulation, then you've learned to self-regulate. That's about 25.
Okay. Healthy is the key word.
Healthy. So you can't put an 8-year-old in their room and tell them to think about what they've done.
Right.
Because they can't self-regulate.
Right.
As a human, we're different from the animal species in one primary way, and that is third-person observation of our thoughts. You can see yourself think.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Supposed to be able to see yourself.
Right. But metacognition is not something that comes natural and easy.
When you're stressed, when you're anxious, you bypass your prefrontal cortex, okay, which is the conscious mind, the thinking, decision-making, go straight to visceral, straight feelings, right? So when people are like, oh, my feelings drive my decisions, I'm like, well, you're not thinking about things then. Okay. So this is what I'm getting at is the answer to your question. Long form is as an adult. So as a child, co-regulation is number 1. Auto-regulation is number 2. Self-regulation is number 3 because you don't know how to do it. As an adult, that flips. The number one thing you're supposed to be able to do as an adult, and I use the 70-30 rule, 70% of the time when you have an emotion and you're pissed off, 70% of it, you deal with it on your own. 30% your partner gets. 30% your friends get. 30% everyone on the planet gets. 70% is on you.
I love it.
Right? That's self-regulation.
Yes.
What do you think people use as the number one regulation tool to make themselves feel better?
Oh no. Food?
Auto. Yeah.
Food.
Auto-regulate. Yeah. It's food. It's exercise. Oh, you're doing bikini competitions every month. It's like, okay, that's unhealthy. You're toxic.
Right.
Okay. It's like great. I appreciate the discipline, but it's a coping mechanism.
No, totally.
That's unhealthy auto-regulation.
So true.
There's balance.
No, totally.
So it could be anything. It could be porn, spending money, alcohol, drugs. It could be people dating. Okay, there's a way in my mind, in my opinion, is a auto-regulation could be other people. This would be like the cell phone, right? Dating apps, auto-regulation.
Yeah.
So that's that. So they typically do that. Then they go to co-regulation, aka codependency.
Yes.
You need someone to regulate your emotional state. And then if and when, maybe never, they get to self-regulation.
So hold on, that is so huge because I feel like they almost look the same.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yeah, and that probably is where there's a lot of problems in that, right?
Yeah. So taking care of your own emotional state first.
Yes.
Okay, which means you work through, you navigate. What part of me is leaning into this feeling? What part of me is saying I need to hear back from him in 24 hours? What part of me is not okay because he didn't message me back? What part of me is not okay that he has a country club from my comment section membership, but he took me to Burger King?
Oof.
Right? That was a real comment the other day. I had a conversation with a woman.
Wow.
Because she's like, well, it's not right. He has all this money. But he takes me to Burger King. I'm like, well, have you ever asked him? Guess what her answer was? Of course not.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to ask about something that you're concerned about? That sounds stupid. You know what's easier is just make an assumption.
Oh,
that way you can make the fool of both of you.
Yeah.
It's like
your humor is perfect.
Right?
It's so good. Wow. Yeah. This is so. So what I'm hearing is that
lean into the feeling.
Inquiry.
Yeah. Lean into the feelings.
Yeah.
Right. When I say feelings, to go back to the beginning, love is not a feeling. It doesn't mean love is the absence of feelings.
Yes.
This is where people lose context.
Right.
Love is it's all feelings. Okay. But just because you have all feelings doesn't mean you need to have all love. And that doesn't mean that is love, right? Because remember, most of those feelings are yours. They're all yours. They're your feelings. But you're responsible for the majority of them. When you have the feelings and the other person is responsible to satiate those feelings, anxious attachment, where those feelings where you are not okay without that person, anxious attachment, okay? Where you have the feeling that the person is too much, dismissive, avoidant. When you have the feeling of overwhelmed, the feeling you don't know if you can trust this person, disorganized, those feelings will guide your love, like how you show up in relationship massively. So feelings don't determine what you should do. But you never want to lean away from them. You want to lean into what part of you needs this feeling? What does this feeling serve for you? Most importantly, is this feeling present and real based on is this feeling appropriate to a situation that is present and real?
Is this feeling, say that one more time?
Is this feeling appropriate to what is present and real in life?
Yep.
If the feeling is not appropriate to what is present and real, is it based on a past feeling? And is this situation just familiar? Or is it a feeling based on a future event, a futurescape, a anxiety or fear of something that may happen? This is that inquisition.
Which is I love this so much, Chris, because I think it's so important. You're inviting people to really get to fucking know who they are and understand themselves. Yeah. It's not right, wrong, good, bad. That's all judgment. Like that doesn't, no. Yeah. It's really coming to understand how and why you are in that moment, right?
There's nothing wrong with the feelings.
No.
The feelings can be inappropriate for the context of the situation.
Do you, on a nervous system level, because I know that's obviously a huge part of your work, and I think it's such an important part of the conversation. In fact, I want to say this to you. I added nervous system to thinking about relationships, and this could be friendships even, but thinking about relationships, what are the core, like the main, like what's the bottom line when it comes to a relationship with vitality? So not just longevity, but long and healthy, right? Vitality.
Vitality.
And I distilled it down to your core alignment in your core values.
Yeah.
And alignment in consciousness. Mm-hmm. Because to me, it's when there's alignment in consciousness, then communication, empathy, this becomes easier to coexist and to move forward together. Like you can move more harmoniously because of this. But then just not even that long ago, I was like, you know what? Nervous system needs to be a part of this too, because of all of your work. It's like, man, if for example, if I am with a anxious or fearful avoidant and understanding that, so when this man feels a level of intimacy and closeness, it starts to, in your own words, listen, like the nervous system produces more cortisol.
Yeah, overwhelming.
And so even if there's real feelings, it's like, oh shit, I'm uncomfortable, I'm unsafe, right? Yep. That's the nervous system.
Yeah. The safety that you need to provide in that scenario would be calmness, acceptance, wanting to talk through things. Because remember, someone who is disorganized, anxious, avoidant, they want the love, they just don't trust it. So they're waiting for something to happen. You have to create that safety and security for that person in the relationship by just remaining calm.
Right.
By saying, it's all good.
Yeah.
Just tell me what's going on. Tell me how you're feeling. Right? I'm here for you. Not going anywhere.
Right.
They need to hear these things.
Right.
Right. And then just allow them a little bit of autonomy to do what they need.
Right.
While encouraging them that there needs to be a timeline, which is why I like rules of engagement when it comes to discussions or space and stuff like this. Right. I also call them, there's rules of engagement with discussions, arguments, ruptures. And I also have like written expectations for relationship. These are like a list. And I'm like, this is adult, right? It's like the SOP, standard operating procedure. Yeah. You need one. And it should be explicitly written. And people are like, well, that seems I'm like, that's life.
Well,
that's
healthy. What's so fucking amazing about what you're saying? I actually do feel that if you're in a relationship, even friendships, I do believe in expectations. And that can totally ruffle. But I'm like, listen, motherfuckers, like when, Jordan, like, I think of like the Chicago Bulls or think of any epic fucking sports team. You don't think they're going in there with expectations of each other? Yes, they have the same goal. It's to fucking win, right? They have different roles, but they expect each other to be able to show up in those roles to the best of their ability so that they could all get to that same goal.
The singular expectation, I think, that people need to understand that both people should mutually agree on in early relationship, once you're committed, is there's the expectation that we will do what it takes and you will do what it takes for yourself to navigate the relationship. That you're not going to sidebar me, you're not going to ghost me, you're not going to stonewall me. I expect you to do what you need to do to improve yourself for the legitimacy of the relationship. There is that expectation.
Yeah.
The number one, there's only really one reason that a relationship should fail, whether it's long-term committed relationship, marriage, or anything like that. It is the unwillingness of one partner to show up and do the work. That's it. Yeah. Aside from that one task, if someone just says, I give up. I don't want to try. I don't want to go to therapy. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk about your feelings. Aside from that, because no one can work with that. Right? Unwillingness. You can't force a human being to do what they don't want to do. Aside from that, every single relationship problem is correctable if done the right way.
Yeah.
So people lose hope, right? They lose hope because they're like, it's been too long. It's been too much. It's too much this, too much that, which I get. Like, emotional fatigue is a thing.
Sure.
Right? And maybe the person just doesn't have the capacity to get there, which is why the vetting process is so important in early dating, right? And like you're saying, it's like, okay, what's our compatibility? I call it biorhythm even, right?
Talk about that. I like that. Biorhythm.
People blame COVID for relationships being bad. They blame COVID because people look for an explanation and a reason to avoid accountability.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I picked a really shitty partner. Must be COVID's fault.
I can't.
So now that we have to spend time with each other, you mean I got to spend time with this motherfucker
no.
over here like every day?
Oh, no.
I didn't think that was actually going to happen. I got to be honest. I didn't see this one coming.
That is so good.
Right? So like, no, COVID wasn't the problem. Your picker was the problem.
Yeah.
You picked someone that you don't have the capacity to spend long, intimate periods of time with because you two can't cohabitate. You can't coexist. You have different biorhythms. You have different communication styles. You have different ways in which you meet each other's needs. You haven't gone through the work and actually vetted this person appropriately if you can actually be in a home for an extended period of time with them.
What's that vetting process? Like, I don't know if there's a simple way to kind of just lay out some of that, but.
Well, this is looking at what is the person's lifestyle, right? What are your values? Do you value alone time equally? Can you cohabitate as far as like, can you cook a meal without one overbearing or one person being too complacent? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Can you sit in silence for a long period of time? Are you comfortable in silence, right? Can you have just flirty, fun conversation or no conversation and be equally fine with either one of those?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
What does it look like if one partner is doing work and the other person interrupts them? All right. What is your there's temperament. There's 9 aspects to temperament.
Okay.
And assessing temperament and personality, again, huge conversation, but this is what I do with my clients. You need to pick someone. Opposites attract is a fallacy. Opposites do not attract.
I totally fucking agree with you. Right. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah. You need to find someone who, and Jordan Peterson has done a ton of work on this. He's got a great course on personality. I recommend people take it.
Okay.
He talks about the big 5 personality aspects. You need to find someone that is more similar than dissimilar. This would be rhythmicity when it comes to temperament. Rhythmicity is like, how consistent do you like your things every day, right?
Rhythmicity.
Yeah, rhythmicity. This
That's
is
a
like,
nice word.
Yeah, this is how consistent, how much of a rhythm does your day? Is it like choppy all over the board, ADD,
right,
ADHD, or are you kind of like, you
have a good steadiness.
This is your threshold for stimulus, right? We all know the person, the guy or the girl who's like, there's a noise. And like,
oh my gosh.
Versus like there's a bomb goes off and someone's like, did you hear that? Yeah. Did I? You know what I mean? And it's like someone's low, someone's high. If you have, Crazy McGee and you've got Chill Phil over here, that might be a problem, right?
Might be.
So, you can't have 2 people that are high. So there are some caveats to this.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Volatility, 2 people that are volatile are just going to go out and have a lot of fun in traffic.
Right.
Right. So you need, and it's typically always the guy that's got to be lower on volatility. Women are naturally a little higher.
Yeah.
Because you've got kids, you got to make sure they don't die.
Right.
Whereas dad's like, it's just street hockey. Like, come on, they'll move when the cars come.
Yeah.
Right? Again, his job is to make him safe in the world because he'll protect. He'll run out there and move him and like kill the guy if he runs over a kid.
Yeah.
Right? So his job is to protect you, but it's also to put you in somewhat of harm's way to realize that you are safe because dad's here. He's got you.
Right.
So male-female dynamic is a little bit, but for the majority of things, openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, neuroticism, those need to be for the most part quite similar, as well as temperament.
Like in alignment. No, that makes so much sense.
Right.
Harmony.
Right. So when you're vetting someone, it's like, well, what are all the aspects of their life? Do I get along with their family? Do they get along with me? Do we have similar, and again, it's not like an Esther Perel talks about this. You don't need someone that likes exactly the same things as you do.
No.
You can have different music. Whatever, go to your concert with your girlfriends. That's cool. I don't like whatever country. Or I don't like R&B. You go. It's all good. You don't have to be identical with your likes. You don't have to like the same food. You don't have to like exactly the same things. You don't have to like hiking. It's totally fine. The majority of things, sure, because that makes it easier. You don't want to go on separate family vacations.
Right.
But there needs to be a sense of independence and autonomy
Mm-hmm.
because that's what attracted you to the person to begin with, was their unique skills, their unique things.
Yes.
And fostering that and allowing someone to develop that independently
Yes.
keeps the relationship exciting.
Yeah, totally.
Which is why I'm huge for like independent hobbies and sports and, some independent friends.
Yeah.
Right. But the majority of stuff done together.
Right. So you can be more in flow together.
Yeah.
But I think that independence is also so important because it does. Yeah. It keeps it interesting too. Yeah. And it does keep, you and your sort of, that's where maybe the conversation around interdependence can start to come in, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, independence doesn't mean I can't connect. Independence just means I can stand in myself, right? As myself, as can you. And then you bring, two independent
You're
individuals
okay alone.
Yes.
But you're better with another person.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Someone should bring and amplify the things and highlight and most importantly, encourage your independence as far as developing yourself.
Yeah.
Not independence of, hey, go have another life outside of this.
Right.
But developing your own self while still fostering a healthy relationship dynamic.
You've said many incredible quotes. This one is really important to bring into the conversation. It's not who you attract, it's who you keep.
Right. Yeah.
We're talking about attraction.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
I hear it all the time. Women are like, I keep attracting avoidance. I'm like, no, you don't. You keep keeping avoidance. Oof. Right? Because if you're like tall, dark, and handsome, you're not going to go for short, ugly, and fat.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
Right. Having said that, and this is, to the men, women aren't attracted to your looks primarily, which is why you see like gorgeous women with like just like man guys, because they're more attracted to how the man makes them feel, not what they look like. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Men lose that. They lose that connection because men are visual. So like that just doesn't make sense to us. Yeah. Men like beautiful things. They like beautiful cars. They like beautiful women. Right. Right? Right. Which is why it's beneficial for women when they're single. It's like if you want to be more attractive, go to the gym, eat better. You don't have to be a supermodel. You don't have to be like stunningly gorgeous. It's not about that. It's about, do you take care of your body? Right. Are you aesthetically pleasing? Do you value who you are? And do you invest in yourself? That's always, even just energetically.
Well, yeah. It's like a standard that you're expressing.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, I care about this.
Yes.
And that exudes in your energy.
Me.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you need to be a supermodel. So people, women misinterpret that sometimes because, of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
So it is mostly a self-worth value.
Yeah.
Do I take care of this? And does the man see that energy that I value this?
Right.
That's what we're after. But ultimately the
who you keep.
It's not who you, it's so, and this is interestingly enough, because I see it in my comment sections, number one, and this is two-part. Women will tell me, I want a secure man. I can't wait to find that when I do the I am a secure man posts. I want that in my life. I'm like, well, you're not going to find it. Number one, you got to create it because everyone's got an inner child. Mm-hmm. And the single people that say, I'm secure and I'm single, I'm like, no, you're not. You're just single.
Yeah.
And I'm cool when there's no one around to touch my little triggers either. Hands away from me. Get out of here. Stop touching my core wounds. If no one's touching them, of course you're secure.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, it's so true.
It's like, I've done the inner work. I'm like, okay, at best you're 70% there. Because again, 70-30 rule.
Sure.
70% of all work you can do on your own, 100%. Tell me you're 70% secure. Just be honest. 30% I got to do in a relationship.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. Letting my guard down.
Right.
Learning to trust somebody again.
Yeah.
Letting go of some of my boss bitch independence.
Yeah.
You're going to have to let some go. And so is he.
Well, because there's limitations around your experience of self when it's just self. We need others to experience self.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's that idea of this mirror, right? So your partner will mirror your core wounds.
Right.
They're going to bring out those things. And the right partner, the secure partner, will prove they're secure in relationship. Mm-hmm. When those core wounds come out, there's going to be tension. There's going to be conflict. The secure person is going to get defensive once in a while. The secure person is going to get triggered once in a while. The secure person is going to get angry.
Yeah.
They might need space once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they still have things that are inherent in them and they're still human.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
But the other secure person on the other end is also going to understand, okay, they're human. They're having a hard time. I'm just going to like give them some chill time and then we're going to revisit. Right? So the secure person doesn't exist. They must be fully created inside of a relationship.
Yeah.
And this is why 70% of people during the 3 stages of relationships, number 1 is limerence. Okay, this is the all feelings. That's the easy part. After about a year, when you start to get to conflict resolution, most people, 70% fail there.
Wow.
They can't get through it.
Yep.
Because they can't do conflict right.
Yeah, because they can't do conflict right. Conflict is a skill.
Is a skill.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they can't do repair.
Right.
Right. And the Gottmans talk about that.
Yeah.
It's the rate of repair. It's your rebound from threshold. So your stimulus threshold to get triggered when you're secure is high. That's how you know you're secure. How much does it take for me to get pissed off?
Right.
Okay. If it takes quite a bit, you're probably a little more secure.
Yeah.
Right. But you still get triggered and you're still going to be able to express it. If you never get triggered and you never express it, then you're avoidant still.
Yeah.
Right. And people think that's secure because they're cool as a cucumber all the time, but they're just disconnected from their emotions.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't got time for your drama. So,
right.
Yeah, okay. Well, kind of human. I'm going to have some drama. So, I'm going to bring it.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, don't tell a woman you don't like drama. Oh, you don't? I might have some more for you. Right? Sounds like a challenge to me. Yeah. Said every woman ever. Oh, no. So but ultimately it is
how the repair is a huge factor so that they're in that second phase, conflict repair.
So it's your threshold is high.
Yep.
And your rate of repair is quick.
Yeah.
Right. You don't let things fester for years or for months or days or weeks. Yeah. And it's like sometimes, you might go to bed upset and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not very real to say we should never go to bed upset. Some people do that. Yeah, they do. But maybe you got to sleep on it. Like maybe you just do.
Yeah.
I've had to do that in my relationship. Sometimes it's taken 24, 48 hours because it's a big blowout maybe. And it's something that's just really triggering and it's a deep wound on both of our ends. And we're like, man. But then, you just talk it out and maybe you got to re-bring it up and you got to just get through the emotions. But most people never realize they never saw reflected to them from their parents that conflict happened and that repair, most importantly, was possible. And the parents became closer after a discussion, after an argument.
Because that's what healthy conflict will do. Yeah. Right? Or
healthy
repair. Yeah. Right?
Again, it's back to the emotions, the feelings and the love. It's not the absence of feelings.
Yeah.
It is that the feelings are real and you have to move through them with somebody. And that person is going to stay as an action in love through your feelings and help you co-regulate together to realize that your feelings are a safe place in this relationship. Even the ones that I honestly, I don't want to hear about them because they suck, but I do value them. Right. I don't want to hear that you're discontent. I don't want to hear that you're, and I'm speaking like introspectively. You would never say this to your partner, but like no one wants to hear that their partner's unhappy. Right. So it makes them sad. It makes them unhappy. No one wants to hear that their partner's frustrated or disconnected or has a trust problem or whatever it is. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between a secure person. Even though they might not want to hear it, they're completely open and willing to hear it. Because they choose to love you. They choose to stay through the things that are uncomfortable.
And see, that goes back to where I do think it's so important that relationship with self. Because I think to get there, and not to say, again, because I know, like we just talked about, like 30% in the relationship, but that 70%, can you stay with yourself when you're uncomfortable in those feelings? Things that you might not want to confront or admit, or I fucked up, or this, that, but like, what do you do in those moments? Is it self-rejection? Is it self-bullying? Is it self-abandonment? And when you can get past that and you can come into self-acceptance, this is to me how we can actually come into true self-love. People, I think self-love is like, that's a bigger conversation, but
it's huge.
There's layers to this.
People are like, oh, you have to
game.
love yourself first before you can have a relationship. I'm like, that's not possible. It's bullshit. It really is. And people don't like this because like, why do you have to love myself? I'm like, if someone doesn't show you what love feels like, then how on earth are you going to know how to love yourself?
Yeah. Wow.
You have to be shown that by another human being first. And if you didn't get it from your parents, then you sure as shit have to get it in a relationship. You at least have to know what that love feels like.
Yeah.
Before you can be like, oh, well, I can love myself. I can identify with that feeling. The reason the dismissive avoidant doesn't have the feelings, like they have them, they just don't know what they feel like. Because they were taught by their parents that your feelings are nobody's concern.
Yeah.
Suppress them.
Right.
Don't talk about them. Do not feel them.
Yeah.
If you start to have something come up, do whatever you can to just cope with it. Work more, create a problem more, distance more. Just do not deal with that. So they need someone who can entice the feelings with experiences.
Yep.
Like getting them to show up in relationship to stimulate their vasopressin and their oxytocin and have conversations. And it is going to be transactional with a DA. You have to create a transaction that if you have connection time with me, if you have a conversation and then just engage in low stakes, low risk conversation, not you're a problem, but we have a problem. I don't want to talk about it because I want to be more connected with you.
Yeah.
And I want to decrease your stress because I see you're stressed out.
Right.
What can we do to drop that together?
Right.
Right?
Right.
You're going to have a chance to express how you feel. And at the same time, realize for him, oh, well, this wasn't threatening.
Yeah.
This isn't traumatic. And then maybe have some bonding time afterwards. And he's like, oh, now I get bonding time when I open up. That's transactional, but it starts to create a situation neurologically and chemically in his body that his parents never created. That emotions and feelings are actually rewarded with bonding hormones.
That's so valuable. That's so important.
It is. But you can't come at someone who's DA or anxious avoidant making them the problem, because then you're just precipitating the mentality that the relationship is traumatic and stressful.
I so understand that. That's, and ultimately what I'm hearing is it's this creating this sense of safety in the fire. That's what I get, right? Yeah. Like we're in conflict. We're in disconnect. We're in a really shitty, hard fucking moment. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's safe to be here too. No, we're not trying to hang out here forever. And, but we can be here and we can be here together and it's going to be okay. However we get to the okay, like we're in it. We're in it. And that's that's the goal, right? Because it's not this thing of, and I love how you also, you really, there's a lot of fucking blanket statements. Like you just said one, don't go to bed angry. And it's like, dude, come on. That's going to fucking happen sometimes, right? And I think these blanket statements get really dangerous sometimes because people hold them as law. Yeah. And then it's like not allowing for the reality of.
You hold yourself to a standard that's not realistic. It's not human.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, when it comes to the, I just lost it. I was going to say something else.
It'll come back.
I know, we'll come back to it. Because it was about the conversation with the DA and creating safety in the relationship.
Yeah, safety. It's safe to be here, to be connected.
Oh, this is why, in order to create safety in discussions, because we're talking about ruptures and repairs.
Yes.
The rupture and the severity of that is also super important. A lot of couples lose track. And honestly, this is more of a female thing than a male thing. Women, because you're naturally more introspective, you're naturally more emotionally attuned.
Yes.
Which is why in the comment sections, women hate it when they say love isn't a feeling, because you guys are feeling based. Right. You exist here, men exist here. For very good reason. You put these two together, you got yourself a great little
heart and head. Is it? Yeah.
So because you're naturally more attuned, you're going to want to talk about things, and you're going to want to talk about all the things.
Right.
But that doesn't work for men.
No.
Because men are problem solution orientated.
Right.
So you give them things and they're going to be like, okay, well, how do we fix it?
Right.
Right. But really you're just talking about stuff. So it's to a woman's benefit to kind of triage and pick one thing. And when I talk about conflict resolution with couples, I say you have two things. Number one, you got 15 to 20 minutes maximum to have a discussion. No more than that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why in a second. And number two, you can only bring up one thing at a time. So in a 15 to 20 minute discussion, you need to bring up one thing. I notice the last 2 months you've been busy at work and we're just not spending enough time together. I'm feeling disconnected. I notice we're just not as close as we used to be. And it hurts me. It makes me really sad, And I fully understand that you've got a lot of stress and you're starting this new startup or whatever it is. I get that, right? What would it look like to decrease your stress and to get connected? Right? What would that look like for you? Get him to help to solve the problem for you. Give him a problem, right? You're telling him you're disconnected, you're not spending time, you're not prioritized, but you're saying it in a way that he's not doing anything wrong.
Right.
How could he possibly get defensive with that?
Totally.
You said you want to decrease his stress.
Right.
Right? You said there is a problem, that you're disconnected, right? And you're giving him a problem to solve. Hey, let's help to solve it. You tell me what you want to do. You start to have a conversation, right?
So good.
So if you come at a person with multiple complaints, multiple bids for connection, multiple things, he's going to get overwhelmed because he's going to want to solve all of these problems at once. When he gets overwhelmed, he will do one of two things. He'll lash out and project onto you as to why he's so good, or he'll shut down and freeze. And he's just be like, I don't got time for this.
You know what's so fucking awesome too that is in your approach? I love it's leading with curiosity.
Always, yeah.
Right? But that's it's I think more people are likely to lead because there's skill in that actually. It's easier to defend, like to be offensive, to point the finger.
It is.
Than to go like open your hands. Like, how can we?
Yeah.
What would this look like? Where might this be? You know, these are you lead with curiosity, and this is so woven into my work where I talk about self instead of judging yourself and being self-critical. Be self-curious.
Yeah,
because you're gonna actually get to the fucking goal a lot faster or more effectively versus you can't. It's a quote that came through writing one day. You cannot be judging and learning at the same time.
Yeah, no.
So if you really want to learn,
that's what I say in discussions. That's what I tell men. I'm just get curious about her. When she's talking, be like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Like, tell me what that feels like.
Yeah.
Tell me what feelings are coming up with her.
Yeah.
To understand as a fundamental rule that a woman's trying to convey feelings, but she's not a robot. She's going to convey feelings through words and experiences that she's having, and maybe not the direct feeling. So it's your job to say, okay, I know when she's having a complaint, she has a feeling of a specific thing. Dig into what that feeling is. That's your job. Understand her feelings. When she understands that you know what her feeling is, she's going to feel heard just by you trying to get to a single feeling. I'm frustrated. Okay, I hear you're frustrated. What do you need? What do you need for yourself? What do you need from me?
It's so incredible. The work that you're doing is so important. In your experience so far, have you found that it's, you have the anxious, you have the avoidant, you have secure. So you've seen a lot of variations of relationships, like, the secure woman with the, anxious man or vice versa, right? Have you seen a lot of, what's the right word? Like, even in these differences and these hardships that come with the science of attachment, have you seen a lot of happy, I don't want to say happy endings, but harmony be created?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it comes with a little bit of work, but it really comes down to, quite honestly, the men doing the majority of the heavy lifting. It does.
Interesting.
Well, men are leaders.
Yeah.
If you don't have a man who has the capacity to lead, again, back to women being attracted to the CEO, he's a leader.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
CEOs don't manage everything. You know the difference between a manager and an effective CEO is if a CEO gives instructions, okay, no one's going back for clarity all the time.
Yeah.
If they're going back for clarity constantly to the CEO, he's a manager, he's not a CEO. Right? So if a woman is going back to a man constantly looking for clarity, he's an ineffective leader.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a manager.
That is intense.
He's not clear in his mission and his purpose or his direction or his conveyance of it.
Can she support him to come into that clarity?
Yeah, for sure. Right? Men want respect, number one, more than anything. Number two, men need and want acceptance. Not of who they can become, but of who they are right now. This is the mother's role for a boy, right? So for the woman, the mother's role is to teach you to trust yourself. For the little boy, the mother's role is to know that his emotions, no matter what they are, these little boys have bigger emotions than little girls do. I've raised both.
Yeah.
Boys get angry. They get frustrated. They have testosterone when they're, and it's like they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And women say women have more feelings. Who's written every single love poem, I don't know, in history? Not women.
Wow. That's such a fucking great point.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Men, right. the love songs. I mean, women do as well, but the
but
poetry, the love letters. Men do this. Men express their deep feelings towards women.
Wow.
The problem is men don't trust their feelings are safe with women because they feel they will be weaponized against them, which they often are, or that they're not safe, that the woman is going to understand them. That was the mom's job. Your feelings are safe. Whatever you feel, it's okay.
Yeah.
Mom's here. Mom loves you and accepts you no matter what's going on in your life.
Right.
Full acceptance. That's the role a man needs with a woman. Now, this doesn't mean that you accept abusive or toxic or traumatic behavior. This doesn't mean
absolutely not.
Mom has boundaries. Mom says if a boy is coming at her, that's not okay.
Right.
Mom does not accept abuse. Mom does not accept control. Mom does not accept abusive language of any sorts. Mom doesn't accept anything that is not tolerable. She'll have a clear boundary. And there will be consequences to that, right? And then she's going to want to say, what's going on? Where is this coming from in you?
Right.
What are you feeling? What do you need? Right? So if a guy understands that his emotions are safe with a woman, over time, he will start to trust her substantially more and be substantially more loyal and respectful towards her.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, whenever I say this is always with the caveat. These are in like healthy relationships. So that means like, when I say healthy, that means that it could be anxious avoidance, whatever. That's not unhealthy. It may not be conducive for you in a long-term relationship. Unhealthy is abusive language, swearing, calling names, obviously physical abuse, anything that is not, no bueno.
Right.
That's what I mean, right? There's always that caveat. None of that is okay.
No.
I don't talk about that in my posts because there's the idea that you're in a non-abusive relationship to begin with.
Well, I think it's so important, just to add to and support what you're saying. Anytime I do a lot of soul episodes and whatever I'm sharing, I mean, because there's so many layers and it's complex and it's nuanced, but I'm talking about like a healthy individual. Like if you have, first of all, actually, sorry, I'm very disconnected, but I know where I'm taking this right now. This is something that I do love about what I've learned about your work too, is that you also incorporate, it's like top down, bottom up, outside in. The bottom up part of, that's for my work too. Lifestyle, like
nervous system regulation.
How do you move? How do you eat? All that stuff. That does play into who you are and then how your relationship. Yeah, that plays into the whole conversation around healthy, not healthy. So it's not just especially, no physical abuse, verbal abuse, things of that nature. But also if you're not a healthy person by way of your lifestyle or your partner, I think that can also complicate this stuff that we're talking about here as well.
Sure.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
You want a better relationship, start to take care of yourself better.
Right.
Right. Because a relationship, again, it's a third entity. It's independent of two individuals. Healthy you, healthy me, healthy relationship.
Right.
Unhealthy you, unhealthy me, unhealthy relationship.
Right.
Right. And it starts with physical because your nervous system is the guiding force between every single cellular function in your entire body.
Right.
It is. Your CNS, your central nervous system, and then your peripheral nervous system, your CNS, your brain determines every single cellular function, including your heart rate.
Right.
Okay. Including your heart kind of has an independent atrioventricular node system, which is its own little electrical system, but still guided by your CNS.
There's impact. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So your nervous system, alcohol, toxic. Marijuana, toxic.
Right.
Right. Dopamine, in a dopamine addiction, toxic.
Yep.
Right. Too much exercise, too much cortisol, toxic. Right. Unhealthy diet, toxic. So not that you got to be the perfect little robot, but you need to lead a healthy life to have a healthy nervous system to be able to regulate yourself in a healthy way.
That part. That's exactly right.
It's no more complicated than that. You can't regulate yourself if you're getting 3 hours of sleep and working 18 hours a day.
Yeah. When I talk about trusting your intuition, well, it's going to be hard to fucking feel your intuition when your cortisol is up here. You know what I mean? So yes, to everything you're saying.
Yeah. So whenever I'm coaching people, it always starts, very baseline, very superficial, because I'm not going into all the diets and everything like this.
Right.
But I typically take them off of alcohol for 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
Particularly if they're anxious or if they're avoidant and they need to kind of just detox.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll often use a dopamine detox, which takes 30 to 90 days.
Wow.
Right? I'll typically get them to do some healthier habits.
Mm-hmm.
I will typically get them doing exercise, including walking 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Or twice a day, let's say 30 minutes or an hour once a day.
Sure.
Going to the gym, exercising.
Mm-hmm.
I get them doing things with co-regulation. I'll tell people, go out and spend more time with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Do things that entice a healthy nervous system so that you can show up in a healthy way. Because you can't be introspective and think about your feelings if your feelings are primarily driven by cortisol.
Yeah.
And or dopamine.
Totally.
So create an environment in which you have a healthy nervous system and or a healthy life. This is called integration, right? So integrating in your body means your brain and your body are connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear this a lot from women. I know all the things, right? Women do. Women know more than men, right? Well, I always say smart men pick smart women. It's true. They did this research years ago. The intelligence is carried on the X chromosome, not the Y. Women pass down intelligence. Sorry, guys. It is the truth. Science.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, like,
right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, no big deal.
Sure. He said it, not me.
But it's true. You can look it up. But it's still, you've got to support that healthy nervous system in order to make good choices in your life. Okay, in order to regulate yourself appropriately. Mm-hmm. So integrated means your brain and your body are connected. Mm-hmm. You know the things, but most importantly, do the feelings match the thoughts?
Yeah.
That's the problem with so many women. They know all the stuff. They know that they shouldn't go on a date with the avoidant guy. They know the guy's coming in hot.
Yeah.
And, he's taking you to, I don't know, Hermes to buy a nice bag on your first date. You're like, I like this,
He's reading your Rumi poems. He's doing all the fucking things.
Right. And your brain says, man, or your brain says, man, this might not be great. But your body says, I really like this.
Yeah.
It's good. So the disconnection confuses you, right?
Right.
So when you're integrated, these two are communicating, which is what you were saying. You sit with the feelings, you let them process, you do some introspection, journal. Are the things present and real? Or are these feelings associated with something that maybe isn't to my best interest? Mm-hmm. And an integrated life.
Yeah.
So you integrate yourself and you integrate a life. Mm-hmm. You surround yourself with people that are reflective and they're not telling you stupid things like matches energy. Like, okay, if you don't want a relationship, go ahead and do that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. No.
It's like the worst advice I ever hear so often from women is like, oh, you should match a man's energy. I'm like, no.
See, that's another one of those things though. And then it's
horrible.
like, it becomes law and you're right.
Horrible advice.
No, that's horrible.
It's like, so if you punch him, then he's supposed to punch you? Is that matching energy? So we just it's like, tell me where this stops. Like ridiculous advice.
No, it's horrible.
So an integrated life means your life is conducive to a healthy nervous system. You have friends that hold you to a standard. What happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas, right? What happens in Vegas, your friends hold you accountable for and don't let happen in Vegas. That's healthy. That's integrated, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to Vegas.
Yeah, I know.
I had to throw that one out.
Vegas, exactly.
Right?
So
but good friends, an integrated life when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Doesn't allow you to go down the paths that are unhealthy. Your friends hold you accountable to a standard that you hold them accountable to, which should be a fairly high bar.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Integrated life means that you do things in your life to take care of your nervous system, 70%, and 30% with your partner. And your life is conducive to having a healthy lifestyle. That your job is one that you actually enjoy. Maybe you don't love it. So not everyone loves their job, but it serves a purpose and it doesn't create more stress than it does good. Mm-hmm. Okay. That your weight, your exercise, your your auto-regulation, your exercise, your fun times, whatever that is, doesn't create more problems than it does good.
Right.
Integrating into your life the things that are conducive to the life you want to have in the future. And that's where people typically lose connection. Right.
That they don't know how to integrate.
They're not integrating. They're not integrating the brain and their body.
Right.
And they're not integrating their life in a way. The successful relationships that I have had managed, and there's a really interesting one. He's one of my favorite clients, actually. Guy out of California, him and his wife, he comes to me. They're getting divorced, got the papers in hand. Yeah. And they're in their, I think, probably like late 30s.
Okay.
And both successful. He's doing a startup. And I'm not sure what he did because I never coached the wife per se, but she was keen on it. And they didn't have a kid. And they've been together for a few years married. And she says, listen, like we're at the point now, like if we don't have a kid, like we need to go our own ways because I'm like 39 or something. I need to get on this.
Yeah.
And he's DA, dismissive avoidant.
Okay.
And he wasn't sure what she was. Turns out she's disorganized, anxious avoidant, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we go through and we had to dig into what it looked like for him to connect with his wife because he just didn't know. He didn't understand. So I give them the rules of engagement when you're having a discussion. By the way, discussions should only be 15 to 20 minutes because after 15 to 20 minutes of anything that's emotionally stimulating, your body will code that as trauma. You will store cortisol in your cells. So this is to the women that like to come down on their men for an hour. You are telling his body that every single time I bring up a complaint, like we need to talk later, boom, trauma response, he will shut down because his body says, you're going to come at me for an hour. The cortisol is released into his body and he is flooded. That's a protective mechanism that you created.
That's incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
That's natural.
Right.
Your body will protect you from harm, including emotional harm, which is why 15 minutes is the cap, 20 minutes maximum. Because at that 20-minute point, cortisol, instead of being released into your bloodstream as a stress state, because no one likes to fight, gets stored in your cells after 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
For release at a later date, the next time she brings up a complaint.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's why it's vitally
what do you do
important.
when you're in the heat of the moment? Do you just like go?
You gotta table it. Shit. You gotta take a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when they say relationships are work. You have to know what to do and you have to exercise.
So that's why you create the SOP.
That's right.
Got it.
You get 20 minutes.
Perfect.
Like, I don't care if you got to put a timer on that table. Yeah. Because after that, you're creating trauma responses for both of you.
God, that's so important, Chris.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
That's why you only get one thing to talk about at a time.
Wow.
Right? Because otherwise it just goes on for hours. I've had people say,
totally.
Yeah, my ex, she rambled on me for 3 hours. I'm like, my God. Like, do you own any firearms? Because it's like, you're going to take his life. Like, talking about men's health awareness, Suicide Awareness Month. Like, men get completely overwhelmed. They shut down. They don't know what to do. And I'm not saying women are causing men's suicide, but I am saying men don't know what to do because they're not given the tools either. Right?
Can I bring this in?
Yeah.
Because I've been told, this is so interesting. It's like, you, Roxanne, like to try and resolve in the moment. Whereas I need a moment to process.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There might be truth to that. I don't know if I'm really trying to get to a resolution as much as I'm trying to be understood. Maybe
That's a real interesting point you just made, and I'm going to call you on that.
Yeah, please.
In a discussion.
Yeah.
Is it your job to make your partner understand you or your job to understand them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this is
because you just said, I want to be understood.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like if I'm understood, then there is a connection to the potential disconnect that I'm feeling right now, right?
How do you make someone understand you?
How do I make?
That's the only way you can. You have to make them understand you. If that's your goal is to be understood, how do you make that happen?
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I won't get caught up in the words because I don't know if I'm trying to make them.
Well, you want them to understand you.
Yeah. I'm trying to open
How do you make that happen?
For me, it's like, how am I communicating this in a way that can basically hit that? Like that how do I communicate what I'm feeling in a way that will allow you to understand the truth in what I'm experiencing right now? Like because you might see this or experience this, but this is truly what I am experiencing in this moment. So I'm trying to convey that.
It's a bit of a loaded question.
Yeah.
That's why you're struggling with it.
Well, it's challenging. Well,
it's challenging.
And here's the thing. When I hear that, there's a part of me, I can hold two truths. This is truly something about me. It's true for me that I'm trying to be understood, but it's also, I can hold the truth that maybe you need to go process, and that's real for you too. Both are real. Like, I'm certainly not trying to, corner you into understanding me. No, it's that in me feeling like I did the thing to where you can understand me, I feel like
you want to be clear and concise with your feelings and what you're trying to express.
And it could potentially bring peace in the moment, which is where the resolution sort of idea comes in here, right?
I want to change your perception on this a little bit.
Yeah, please.
The goal in a relationship, when you're looking at healthy repair, is not to make the other person understand you, but to understand them.
Yeah.
That's it. Because you can't make someone understand you. That's anxious attachment. That's over communication.
Okay. Well, so here's something that I love, and it's like, didn't know I was going to land here. It makes me feel really good what you're saying, because now going back to being the self-inquiry and just thinking about things and processing, I do truly believe that it's this desire to understand each other, and it has to be mutual, right?
So reciprocity always.
I want to be understood, but at the same time, I also have it's so important to me to try and understand him.
Yep.
Right. And this is where it gets tricky. And I swear I'm not going to throw us in a loop because because you have another podcast. But this is where it gets really interesting, because I am very capable. I have again, it's like holding two truths. So I can really put myself in the other person's shoes and do the work to understand them, which is I have to step out of self, all the layers of self, and really go, okay, how might this person be coming to this feeling, this conclusion, this state, this, et cetera, right? What's real for them in this moment, right?
Yeah.
And the goal for me is so that I can genuinely, not what I want to understand about the person, but that I can try and really understand this person, because that's really important data there then, right? If we're trying to coexist.
And that's the idea. The whole idea between relationships and communication and or why ruptures happen and people get defensive is they don't feel like they're understood, or they feel like they're attacked. Well, I mean, there's inner child stuff too. They're going to lash out. If that's an unhealed boy in a man is going to project out to you his insecurities because he feels like he's in trouble. Okay, deep shame wounds will do this because, the idea that they might not be good enough is going to destroy their entire idea of self. So they will lash out to you when you question who they are, rather than looking inward and trying to identify and understand what that is. So this is why men will use Darvo, and women, they defend themselves. So when you bring something up, they will defend themselves. They will attack you. Next thing you know, you're now the attacker, and he's a victim, right? They've switched the role when initially you were bringing something up and he's flipped it. Now you got the problems and you're defending yourself to him. Yeah. Right? And he's like, now you're the problem. And you're like, wait a minute, but you...
the old switcheroo.
Yeah. The way that I fuse that is just simply by saying, very seriously, it seems like over the course of this conversation, we've got off topic. Just bringing them back, keeping regulated, keeping yourself calm. Because bidding into it, that's what, when someone attacks you, they want you to get defensive because that perpetuates the whole complaint, which draws attention off of what you have to look at inside of them. Yeah. Right. So that's Darwin. That's a whole other thing. But essentially, yeah, it is the, sorry, you left off where?
Well, it was really having the ability to, and the goal to try and understand.
Oh, understanding. Yeah. So that's why when people don't feel like they're understood, or they're being attacked, that's when ruptures happen, major problems are. So there's always needs to be that. And
you were talking, just to bring you back, it was that time limit. Yeah. And that's what made me think about, you're trying to get to the resolution and then, so your SOPs.
There should never really be hey, we need to resolve this argument. Okay, because that's very linear, and life doesn't, arguments don't work like that. Right. It should always be brought back to the idea that you want to understand how each person feels.
Yes.
It really comes down to that.
Yeah.
And then for both men and women, we have a fundamental desire to be seen, understood, and most importantly, accepted.
Yes.
Right? I see you.
Yeah.
I understand how you are feeling. And if you don't understand, your job is to understand them. So ask more questions, both reciprocity, right? Yeah. So when we're having discussions, we need to try to understand what each other is feeling without attacking. There's no blame. There's no name calling. There's no shouting. If things do happen, we're going to detach. We're going to take 15, go for a walk, and then come back and reconvene, right? don't let yourself get dysregulated.
Yeah.
But is the idea that you want to understand the other person's feelings.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I feel disconnected. Right? Whatever feelings. I have anxiety. I feel like I've got way too much on my plate. Whatever it is, whatever feelings, and say, okay, what do we need? I get that. I'm here. I accept you no matter what. If we're going through this together, what do we need to do? Right? Tell me what else is coming up. Tell me what other feelings are coming up. And then when they open up, then that gives you the opportunity to open up. I get that. That makes me sad. Right? That's the disconnection that I've been feeling from you. That makes sense to me. I feel disconnected. Probably what I'm feeling is that you're overstressed at work. Right? I'm feeling disconnected because I feel like that priority is there, which makes sense from what you're saying. You're overwhelmed. Of course your priority is there. I get that. Right? Then he's like, okay, well, you do see me. You understand it. You get that I'm working 12 hours a day at the job. You get that I'm working overtime. One guy I talked to yesterday, 15 businesses, very successful man. His wife's coming at him all the time, overseeing what he's doing, asking, why isn't there more money? Why aren't we doing this? Why isn't that? He's like, are you kidding me? I'm working 15 businesses.
Totally.
Right? She's oversight. So I talked to him about boundaries. So my therapist said, I can ask you about your work. I'm like, right. But your therapist doesn't say you can't be an overseer and a manager for his career. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Get questions. Tell me about the business. Tell me about, the other day you said whenever buildings were delayed, tell me about that. Tell me, I noticed you're more stressed. What's going on with that job? I want to know.
It's so collaborative.
It's collaborative.
Right.
Right. Otherwise, the person feels like they're stressed at work and then they get home and now they're stressed with you because now you're in oversight number 2.
Right.
And they have to explain their life to you, whereas they want to be able to have and share their emotional load with you. Remember, women are emotionally attuned. You guys care about emotions. Men think that if they're the problem, if they share their emotions with you, you're just going to make that a problem.
Right.
And also, men that are unhealed will also think that your emotions are a problem that they need to take away. Right?
Right.
Which is why a woman owning her emotions, a woman who's unhealed as well, will need the man to manage her emotional state.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which becomes, that's that mothering always, right? That constant oversight. And he's like, I can't handle this. I got enough to do.
No, totally.
Right. But it is the collaboration. It is the idea that you can share the emotional load together.
Yeah.
That you're both identifying with the stresses and the feelings you have. It's co-regulation.
Right.
Right. You talk it out and then whatever afterwards. Right. But it's this healthy communication in which both people are seen, understood, and accepted through whatever feelings they have. That's no more complicated than that.
What in your career right now with all the work, because you've obviously been doing this for a hot minute, and you're deep into it. I feel like when someone, like I've been, for example, podcasting for over 9 years, and I still say that, I am so hungry. You ain't seen nothing yet. Like this is just, and we're, top percent, 1% of all active meaning like we're doing good. But for me, I'm like, I'm hungry. There's more. And it's so satisfying to be so deep in the game and still feel like a fucking beginner. In terms of the enthusiasm and the hunger. What is that for you in your career right now? Because I feel
it's huge.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't finish my story with that couple.
Oh,
I'll finish it quick. So
No.
they come in, they're getting divorced. He's DA, she's disorganized. So I give them skills with rules of engagement, with learning to connect, with spoken expectations.
Yep.
They want to have a kid. A lot of people don't think about this. And I'm like, because he's dismissive avoidant. So he has a lot of fear of the future. He's the loss of autonomy, the idea that it's probably going to be messed up. So let's just not do it anyway.
Yep.
I'm probably not going to do good enough. So let's just not even do it.
Right.
Right. This is the DA.
Right.
The fear of failure. The idea that I can't give you what you need. You deserve someone that can give you what you need. This is what DAs say. Right. So I gone right down. Like they want to have a baby. I'm like, write down every list of everything. And I'm talking cloth or plastic diapers. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, get detailed, get freaking detailed. I'm like, are you going to breastfeed? If so, for how long? Is the baby going to be in a cradle beside the bed, in a separate bedroom, or in your bed with you? I'm like, get detailed. I'm like, talk about it all. That way, you're both on the same page, public or private school, right? Pick, it's like, talk about everything to get rid of the ambiguity of the future. This also is bonding time because you're talking about something with your partner about a future.
Right.
Fast forward 3 months, they're buying a house and they're trying for a baby.
That's amazing.
So, they literally had divorce papers in hand. And after 3 months of just giving them the tools to communicate.
Yeah.
And he's extended on to multiple coaching programs with me because he was done his first one. His wife's like, are you done with Chris? Like, I'm kind of sad. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, we can continue. Like, and he's like, okay, I'm in. He's like, I love these conversations because the continued stuff comes up.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's always levels to this game to grow to. And, again,
because attachment is healable. It's just not overnight. It takes, depending on someone's, capacity and desire and the amount of work they put in, anywhere from 6 to 18 months. And attachment kind of unravel.
Right. Okay.
So there's lots of stories like this,
That's amazing. That's got to feel so good for you.
Oh, it does feel good. I had a couple the other day. He's highly intelligent. He's an emergency physician. And she's an artist. And they'd be in their late 60s. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at retiring and moving to another area of the world where their home is going to be, but they're feeling very disconnected.
Yep.
He's DA, dismissive, and she's relatively secure, mild and anxious, let's say.
Okay.
The entire last session, again, I've been with them for a number of months, it took us 30 minutes to get him to bring out how he was feeling.
Wow. Okay.
Because I just keep pushing him into, what are you feeling?
Yeah.
And then at that point, she said, for the first time, I had no idea you felt this way.
Ugh.
And then she got to share her feelings, but it took a half an hour.
Yeah.
And then they started to laugh and they started to kind of flirt with each other a little bit, which is what she initially wanted.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
And he just thought, man, it's just always the classic guy thing. Well, all you do is complain. You don't ever talk about the good things.
Uh-huh.
You heard this
classic.
one.
Yeah. That's
such a classic thing.
Totally.
Because men don't understand. It's like, well, yeah, because she's not talking about the good things doesn't mean that she doesn't acknowledge that. It's just right now she's feeling this.
Right.
And this is what's making her feel disconnected.
Right.
But men will be like, we never talk about the good things.
Yeah.
And
I do think that that's actually important. I'm a big advocate to, hey, as things are feeling good and I think I'll just speak from woman to man. Like, I think it's so important to share with a man, which is, again, ladies, I'm not saying not the other way, but just, I think it's so important. And again, maybe this is like sister to brother, but sharing with the man the things that are wonderful and that how, when you do this, I've been noticing how you've been showing up in this way. And I just want you to know how I feel.
Huge.
It's so huge.
Huge. I think it is the number one misconception that women have about men. And I think it's because of social media. And and men, same thing. Men think that, women just need words of affirmation. Or you're so insecure, you need to be told you're pretty. I haven't met a woman yet that says, okay, you all like to be told you're pretty.
Well,
but that doesn't get you real excited. That doesn't make you bond with the guy.
No. Okay.
Women, words of affirmation aren't what men think they are. And men need words of affirmation a lot more than women think they do. What that means, and that's tied to respect, and it's tied to accepting who they are and not who they can become. It is how the things that the man is doing in his life for you make an impact on your emotional state.
Yeah,
that's what men want to hear.
Yeah,
because men get frustrated that they're going to work, they're paying all the bills, they're doing all the things. Maybe you're doing work too,
right?
But that he's maybe paying the lion's share, let's say, which is more often than not in the average relationship. He gets frustrated that he is not told how this is affecting you emotionally. That he doesn't know how you feel because you're just kind of taking it.
Yeah.
And in his mind, for granted, because you're not conveying your emotions back to him.
Yeah, he needs feedback.
Yeah. Yet same woman will have the audacity to come to him and tell him when he's messing up.
Right.
Which pisses him off because there is a disconnect in the communication.
Right.
Now, the DA is certainly dismissive one will certainly not want you to have anything brought up that's uncomfortable. So they will always only focus on the good things.
Right.
That's a different conversation. But the average guy and even on a DA will be offset with the mentality that you say, listen, I love that you're working so hard. Like when you take me for dinner or when all the things that you get for us, like it really makes me feel taken care of. It makes me feel like just so safe, whatever feelings are coming up with you.
Yeah.
And if he knows that there is an emotional impact, not that just that he thinks you feel entitled because he's been doing it long enough that it's just expected now.
Yes.
It's very dangerous in relationships.
I totally see that and agree with you on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And someone will say, oh, I don't need a man who's needs to be validated for everything he does. It's like, okay, grow up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every single little thing.
No.
But I am telling you that when I take my mom out for dinner, open her car door, she says thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And my partner's not my mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you say thank you, I might want to like, thanks, Mom.
Thank you is not feedback. It's polite.
Thank you is not
it's
feedback.
It's kind.
Yeah.
But
my
it's
mom
not,
says thank you.
And if we think about men and problem solving, which is a big part of how you function, like problem solution, then feedback is a very important part of that as well, right? And so, if
a woman says, when you open my car door, it makes me feel very special.
Yeah.
I don't know, or, when you take me out to dinner and we get all dressed up and you look good, like it makes me feel whatever, you know, or whatever it is. If he's out with the family and he pays the family bill, it makes me feel whatever that makes you feel. Right. Whatever it is that the guy's doing. And again, not every single time.
No.
But little things here and there. That way he knows that his actions are valued in a way that actually matter to the one person that matters to him in his life. Because men are doing things not to perform for you, but to do things in a way that he knows you care enough to not leave him.
And you know what's so important about, you just said two things, care and perform.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to say, this isn't performance feedback.
No.
I know I should, so I will. No, it's opening you up to be giving you receptors so that there's awareness so this awareness starts to come online within, generating like the caring feelings that would want to in that moment say, hey, you know what? Like Chris, I've noticed how you've been, just more attentive, after work, even though I know work has been hard.
Yeah.
But I can see that you're really wanting to be more attentive to me because you know that that's important. And I thank you. That makes me feel so, cared for. And like that, but it's not performative. It's I've opened myself up to be able to experience, like to be online in this way, right? With
you're
my partner.
Emotionally attuned. And you're secure enough in your feminine to be able to express that to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, the woman is the emotional thermostat to the relationship. She just is. The man is the leader. He has direction, purpose, and mission. Women want that. Okay, you can't expect him to be a woman and to be emotionally attuned all the time. He can be emotionally introspective and receptive to your emotions. That's the task. Is he emotionally receptive? Is he in tune? Is he working with his own inner child? Is he going to be defensive and projective towards you? No, that's not acceptable. Is he working on it? Okay, good. He's in the right direction. The woman's job and the way that you create specifically with an avoidant man, the highest value possible is you track his emotional state. Not in a mothering way, but in a way that his emotional state, remember, the value that the woman brings is not to be his mom, but to be in a feminine role where his emotions are safe with you. Hey, I noticed you've been working like 12-hour days. You're absolutely exhausted.
Right.
I noticed you're really stressed out.
Right.
What can we do to decrease that for you? What do you need?
What do you need?
You know?
Totally.
I noticed you've been whatever it is, I noticed this, I noticed that. Like, what do you need? How we, it's like, I notice you don't eat enough, right? Not in a maternal role, but it's like, listen, I know when you get home at the end of the day, like you've been swamped, I get off early, I'll take care of food.
Right.
I'll make sure that we got food when you get home because I don't want you to be stressed out. I don't want you to be hungry because you tend to get like, your blood sugar drops. And I don't want you to feel that way.
Right.
Right. My partner does that. She tracks my emotional state all the time. She's like, make sure I'm eating enough food because I work like a lot.
Yeah.
And so she's constantly saying like, hey, you got to eat. I made you some food. What do you want? I'm at the store. So it's not in a maternal way. Maternal is, you can't drink that beer. You know, the doctor said your blood pressure's high. You know?
Right.
Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing this. Oh, hey, stop. Hey, the light's red. Oh my God, you should be stopping. Like just constant oversight.
Yeah.
Like that's mothering.
Right.
That's annoying.
Right.
Yeah. This would be the guy where his wife is like, you know, managing his business, asking what everything, we should be making more money. Well, where's the money if your business is, well, this is dangerous.
Totally.
Dangerous for a man to hear, right?
For so many
Emotional
reasons.
oversight is, I know things are tough for you at work. You know, how you feeling about everything?
Yeah.
Right? How are things going?
Right.
It's just like that. That's simple. This creates really deep bonding with a man because he knows his emotional state is safe with his partners.
Yeah.
Right. And she's never going to weaponize it against him.
Right. It really does allow for just so much more harmony. And harmony does not disclude conflict.
No.
It's just harmony. Harmony is, that's why I'm as a writer with words, it's like I prefer the word harmony over balance because balance is really static.
Yeah.
Like, right, you're
homeostasis.
Yes.
Homeostasis is the balance.
Like we can live a song, you know, it goes way out here and then it comes in here and then it drops you here, but there's harmony in all of the chaos.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so, man, Chris, this has been beyond. I am so in gratitude for you, for the work that you do, for you know, one of my very best friends, Rachel, who brought us together. And there's so many more questions. One that I'm going to close this beautiful conversation and ask for a part 2. But the question that I want to ask you is what have we not, if anything, I don't know if there is, but is there anything that we have not touched on that I didn't ask you that you would like to live in this conversation, or maybe it's just top of heart and it's something that you want to put out there that you have not yet put out?
It's tough when we covered a lot of ground.
There's no pressure, or even if it's a closing kind of thought, maybe a question to leave others with, anything, but just free range to.
We hit heavy on feelings.
Yeah, we did.
So I would say that feelings, whether they be good feelings, bad, or indifferent, are the primary thing that everyone needs to feel safe expressing in a relationship. And when you can get to that point, when you can communicate clearly enough and have emotional vulnerability in a relationship, that's really like the good stuff. Yeah. That's how you know your relationship's on track. When your partner feels safe enough on both ends,
right,
that the relationship is safe enough for each person to feel they can express their emotions and what they're feeling openly, and that the other person doesn't feel that their partner's feelings are a threat to their nervous system. That's how you know that you're doing well, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
that's the primary determining factor when someone is becoming secure, is that your partner's emotional states no longer become a threat to you.
That's so huge. What you just said, that's really important. Wow. Okay. Yeah. What you've got going on is not going to impact it. It's not that it doesn't impact my nervous system, but it's not going to dysregulate me or run me around or, right? That's essentially
your pattern of behavior and your emotions aren't going to be completely dictated by your partner's emotional state.
Yes.
Yeah. A threat would be someone who then gets defensive or projects or shuts down or does whatever they need to do in order to cope with the emotions that are uncomfortable.
Yeah. So the goal is to what you just said. It's like, okay, perfect. Okay. How do people work with you? What do you've got? Do you have, what's like, how do people really get into the world of Chris, Coach Chris?
We are primarily on Instagram at Evolved by Chris.
Yeah.
Which is where in my link, in my bio, all my coaching options are there.
Everything's
couples, there. One-on-one, concierge single sessions, or typically it's a package people sign up for. I do regular courses, which are usually 4 weeks long.
Amazing.
So those are all in my bio. We're building more. We're starting an app. We have a Circle app. So people, I will have my own app coming out within the next 7 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just released our Substack newsletter, which is a free
That's my
newsletter.
home. Yeah,
there you
great.
Go. Yeah, so that's out right now, just actually yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
So we're building more and more things, but primarily my small group classes and my one-on-one coaching is on my Instagram.
Beautiful.
That's where most of my value happens. I like the one-on-one work. I like it.
I can tell you're so in it. And it's so beautiful.
Yeah. And we're releasing more courses over the next month. I'm building 3 courses right now, actually. One on healing anxious, getting more secure, and another one on a very large one on how to love your avoidant partner.
Oh, wow.
How to create bonding with an avoidant individual. That one will be out right away.
So good.
Yeah, the script is all done. We just got to do the videos.
Oh, man, that's exciting.
And then we'll have hybrid programs so you can become part of the course and get either group or individual coaching with those courses.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah.
So, and then the book's coming soon?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I am going to be writing one. Probably it won't happen until probably the beginning of next year, but I am going to have. It'll be a comprehensive book on everything from relationships to parenting to dating.
Wow.
Because again, I've lived it. I've adopted a little girl. I've raised 2 boys. I've been divorced. I was a passport bro for 4 years. I've lived the lives. You know,
that's so incredible, and it's so beautiful that you are sharing your experience, your wisdom with the world, because that is, I mean, you're helping so many people. I know everyone who's listened to this conversation has felt something or a lot of things. And there's a lot of just valuable, because relationships, man, it's like they're such a big part of life. And friendship, obviously relationship with self, but relationships and partnership and love. And it can really, it could be the very thing that, helps you expand and evolve, self-actualize, like live a very just beautiful life, or it could be the thing that, takes you fucking down and keeps you from all of that. And so you really are supporting so many people in such massive ways. And it's an honor and just so grateful to be connected truly. And I really look forward to part 2 with you.
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. And I'll leave you with a last thought when you say about connection. And this is really one of the fundamental reasons why I do what I do. And again, I had this thought, a decade ago. It probably was one of the main things that led me into this work. I'm Catholic, Christian. I always have been. One of those cradle Catholics, And when you talk about relationships, there is the fundamental desire that every single human being needs connection. They need a relationship. Those that say, I don't want it, I don't need it, are protecting themselves. It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure there are people out there and viewers that say, I absolutely don't need a relationship. I'm like, you're protecting yourself.
Right.
Which I get. I do. The closest you can get to God is through your attachment intimate partner. In the Bible, it says humans were created in God's image. So if you extrapolate that, we are in essence the extension of God on earth. The closest you can get to God here physically, not spiritually, is through the deepest connection possible with another human being. That is your calling on the earth. Well, getting to heaven ain't easy, and getting to relationships no easier either.
Yeah.
Right? That's why it's challenging, because it's worth it.
Yeah.
That's the money right there. When you can build the connection and gain the skills.
Yeah.
And be clear enough with who you are and know yourself well enough, be loved by a partner, and be able to give the love that you have to a partner, that's as close as you get to God on the planet.
That's poetry.
That's why it's so important. That's why people have an insatiable desire, because it transcends metaphysically us.
It makes so much sense. Like I feel that very deeply. It's so beautiful. That's a mic drop ending.